Do it. I'll do it from my
Hey,
place.
everybody. How are you doing? She, I was like, you ready? We're going. And she jumped in. Anyways, hey, Donna. Hey, Mary. Hey, Detective's daughter. Mary. How are y'all doing? Hey, Kayla. Layla. It's kind of hard to say together. You want to say Kayla. Beach Bum, what's up? How are y'all doing? Sorry I'm late. Y'all, it's been a hectic week. Jason's not feeling good. And I don't know what to do with myself. I'm lonely. I'm like stressed. All the things. The punch card is punched out. I don't know what to do, you know? I'm just like, okay, just I'm here, you know. It really sucks. I hope he feels better. I really God, I miss him, like just anyways. So there's so many times I was like, well, I'll just go live. But I don't know how to just do that. Hey Angela, how are you? Hey Janelle. How's it going? I used to I mean, I'm pretty I'm scared to say it. Not scared, but I'm like, "Oh god." I'm always saying embarrassing stuff, but I think I've said it before. I used to always, when you walk up to somebody, you say, "How's your hoe?" And they're like, "What?" And you're like, "How's your whole family doing?" Anyways, nothing big. But right? Hey Gloria, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. A funeral, bull. That's not good. Thank you for the prayers. Oh man, just the world keeps spinning, and I'm like, okay, I just want to, find my bearings in it again. One day, one year, that'd be great. Anyways, y'all. So I never really good. I'm glad you're back. I hope that um, just me, you know, she had lost her husband on the 11th of August, and I mean it's Chad Daybell's birthday on that day, but it's also my papa Trahan's. So he's long passed away now, but you know he cancels Chad Daybell right out. Hi, Diane Renee McDonald. How are you? Hey, Trace. Did I say your name already? I pro- I think it was you that sent the the GIF or GIF, whatever. Everybody does that. They say GIF or GIF, and where she's rubbing her eyeballs, the inner eyelids. I was like, "That's awesome." It made me laugh. I don't know why it's got me looking that way. Anyways, nothing, right? Uh, it's so good to see you guys. Yeah, back to where I was though. Let me find my drink. I hope y'all are having a good Labor Day weekend. Yeah, I think it's Labor Day weekend, right? I always get them confused. Labor Day, Memorial Day. I'm just like, okay. Anyways, oh, and I also thought I uploaded the audio of Chad Daybell the other morning. The hearing was what, the day after I scheduled it. They actually had Chad Daybell's hearing the day that I had it scheduled, but their punk asses didn't show up. I was like, and I didn't, I mean, I was just out, and I woke up and I was like, I kept refreshing the judge's page, and I was like, I'll go live when they go live. And then I was like, F it, I'm going back to bed. I'm waiting on a response from a corrupt prosecutor on a case I've been covering since 2017. It's due on September 2nd. It's a big deal. Wow. I bet it is. That's a long time. That is a very long ass time. Really. Why would you have to wait that? No, I probably don't need to know. That's a long time to wait on anything. Anybody, especially justice. Jeez. I got a short story. Went to visit my sister and got on the topic of Tim Ballard. Then I thought, oh crap, well, here we go. Oh my god, it's a never-ending rabbit hole. That dude is busy. He's a very busy fella. Uh, you know that song, "I've Been Everywhere, Man"? That's Tim Ballard. I swear they have, like, little mice running shit behind the scenes, and I'm just like, how do y'all pump all them freaking podcasts out, like, by the dozens? But if we can ever watch, I just don't know how to present it again, it's just one of those things I can upload it. It's already uploaded, of Ken Krogh, the 2016. It's a precursor to the 2019 whiteboard meeting. That's what Lynn Packer calls it. I call it the whiteboard prophecy because it's fitting. It fits. If the shoe fits, wear it. Because that's what they are. White horse prophecy. This is a whiteboard prophecy. And it's 2016. It's 2 hours and 13 minutes long. I don't know if he wants me to say who I got it from, but he knows who he is. And I mean, it's probably not even a big deal. I don't even know what to do with it. It's just it's so long, and the sound on it sucks. So I'm like, okay, I need to like run the video through, one of the apps or programs I have to put the wording on it, so that people can at least follow along. I mean, whenever me and Jason listened to it, I was like, "Hey, can I turn it up?" And we did. And so we heard everything. But um I don't even know why I went to say that. Oh, the reason that the volume of the content that Tim pushes out is because of Ken Krogg's, in my opinion, from what it appears to be, to me, is it's interesting because it's like they're targeting people. They write down, they're like shouting out, all the names, and then fast forward from 2016 to 2024, and you're like, yep, yep, they've been there, done that. Her, him, check, 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 check. Yep, they've targeted, the Boy Scouts of America. They're proselytizing. They are trying to convert people into their church. That's Elder Ballard's whole. That was his whole job. He was over that, and not over it, but he was in charge of that department. I guess you could say. I don't know the proper terms, but anyway, so it's just interesting. I don't know if it is important. I would love to pass it to Lynn Packer and just say, I don't know if this is important or not. You know what you're looking for. Um, I don't know what to do with it. And I don't know how to integrate it into my conversation, except for just now. But, to go through a 2 hour and 13 minute, some may call it boring. I don't really know. I call it corruption and busted. I know. I saw that too, Kay Layla. And I mean, it was like, he had just went live and I missed it, but uh I was like, oh, don't tell him you're scared. But I understand. I get it. Yeah. Those are very valid feelings to harbor when you're dealing with these people, straight up. I mean, because you don't know. You know that they don't fight fair. Not that you're fighting, but just know it's like you're picking on them. That's what they think. You're persecuting them. Therefore, you're just a bug that or a piece of trash that they're going to throw away anyways because they're freaking narcissists. Okay. Narcissists unite is what they did. That's what club they're in. That's the secret club they're in. It's not very secret. And I mean, you can read them like a book, Um, but I mean, I understand. I can't imagine being in a corrupt country, Colombia, where they're going and they're staging these raids. And I just, again, I don't know if people really even go there in their psyche because it's very uncomfortable to go to this place. But I mean, all bullshit aside, whenever you really step back and you realize that I'm not dismissing, I'm not minimizing the women's who filed these civil suits and these charges against Tim Ballard and Tim and friends. That's my new term for today. Tim and friends, or Tim and them. I'm sorry, Tim and them. Tim and them. Um, you can't. I mean, I'm not minimizing. I'm not taking anything away, but you just hone in, put that aside, put the women, the his victims aside, and really focus on those that we don't see, the victims that we don't see. They project. This is my freaking opinion. I'm entitled to it. Damn Ballards. Okay. Tom Harrison, don't be remote viewing my ass. Okay. I will flip you off. I'll give you something to look at. Can you imagine? Damn voyeurs. Anyways. But where was that? I mean, the kids. The kids, okay? They're the PDF files. They are the perps. They are what are they doing? What are they doing? I mean, I don't even that's like a rhetorical question at this point. What are they doing? Never mind. I already know what they're doing. How are they doing it? Tim, I mean, he's even more ballsy in my opinion because he is just like the church. Again, in my opinion, I'm not trying to upset anybody. I'm just looking at the systems, you know. They are, or I'll just say Tim, in my opinion, is creating a problem, right? Which is something they do. They create the problem, then they have the answer for it. Okay. Hey, Nina, how are you? And anybody else? Hey, Soulsai, how are you? Um, and, okay, so they're creating the problem. They have the answer for it too. They're going to make money on this new idea, you know. It's just nobody thought about this. It's like the loophole. It's the same loophole as in, I mean, this is strictly Mormon, the social circle of soaking. Okay. You're going to sit there and bend the rules that much where to avoid having, I'm going to sex now, but in Mormonism, I mean, from what I've observed, of my surroundings, it appears that they bend a lot of rules in order to justify, just like Lori did with the scriptures, just like they do with the Provo push and the freaking I just said it, soaking. Tim Ballard, I don't know if he's accused. I mean, I haven't, and it's none of my business either. I don't know if there was full on intercourse. It seems like, I mean, just from what I read, it seems like he was just trying to soak, or you know what I mean, just enough dry hump. I mean, it just is what it is. He's older than I am, and he needs to grow the fuck up. Just wow. Tell your mom. Goodness, it's just like, what are you doing? They're so green, but they're so wicked. I don't understand it. And yes, I mean, and I understand like the R word, but is it, you know what I mean? Like, did he do all this just to not penetrate? Or was it, I know rape is rape. Okay. I mean, it just is. I'm not, I can't do all the things, but I just imagine him uh, just all the extra, all of the wicked shit, all of this ruse and all this energy and all this time and money and donations. And, you know, can you imagine if these people or people like Tim and them were just not inverted and can you imagine the good that they would do in this world and not just pretend, you know? Um, and not create a great deal for me and Gloria of stress and, mesmerizing us. It's nuts. It's nuts. I mean, that's what I do. I analyze the shit out of these people. And a lot of times I'm like, no, 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 no. Then I'm like, yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. You were right. Trust your gut. It really, I don't want, I know that, and I mean, like you, I'm sure I don't want to, I don't want to think the worst in humanity or, even just him. I don't want to think the worst. I don't. I want to be wrong. I really would love to be wrong, but my gut says, as soon as I say that, my gut's like, girl, don't quit. It's just like, it, it's very uh, short lived, and then I'm right back on track because it's just something's not right there. A lot of something's not right there. And then from the trial, once Chad Daybell's trial happened, then when Joseph Murray testified, I mean, I'm over here looking for this whole connection between, which I'd heard in the beginning, was Melanie Boudreaux. And I sound like a damn broken ass record, but I mean, that's where I was focused, kind of, I was just kind of looking out for that. But I'd heard, and it's just hearsay. I'd heard that, her and Brandon were going through their divorce and everything, and they were doing the divorce settlement and halving everything, and what normal people do when they divorce. They don't cack, or pew pew pew. Okay, they just don't. They don't let their aunts and their uncles do it either. Okay, and they don't pretend to look the other way because that girl is not that dumb. I mean, I'm giving her grace. She's not dumb. Tim's not dumb. Lori's not. They're not dumb people. They're just misguided people. Bad, really bad. And that's freaky because, again, you look at these true crime and Mormonism just over the course of since 2019, mid 2019. I mean, they have kicked it into overdrive. And I mean, as they're bursting at the seams, it seems like, and it's like a pressure cooker, and you never know where it's just gonna blow and who all is it gonna hurt and for how long. And then, because I mean, it doesn't only screw with their victims' lives, it's a ripple effect from there. It screws with the judicial system, the jurors, everybody who has to, your lives, it's affected your life, each and every one of us, it bothers us. And we have empathy, and, there's something off, and we're just like, where's it at? Where's it at? But it just, what is it? And it's a combination of things. So, but I mean, again, this is just from my own whatever reasoning. I don't know really. I don't have any basis for this. I don't have any credentials, just have experience and just kind of sizing it up. And I mean, it just, I already lost it. Let's see. It is, crap. It really got away from me. Maybe I'll read a comment and it'll come back. No, I haven't heard. Right, Soulseye? Has anyone heard how Ryan Fisher's testimony went? No. Have you? Has anybody in here? Speak no. I've been worried about that, and I'm just like, wait, this is one aspect of this entire case with Tim Ballard that I have not delved into. I mean, and I was thinking earlier, like, why didn't I do that? But, I mean, I guess it's first off, it's the language barrier, I mean, it's not very easy. You have to really watch intently to the words that are going, you know what I mean? And you're reading their expressions too. I try to, seeing how they say it, if if it seems genuine, sincere, just sizing them up like we do. We size them up. Hello, Dahlia Gauvin. Gauvin or Gauvin? Gauvin from here. If you're from here, it's Gauvin. I just oh, okay. Um, I'm still trying to think about the sizing up thing. It won't come back to me. But I just don't know why, I guess it's a bunch of things. I mean, I also had Lori and Chad all I mean, I still do. I still have all that going on, but it's like, okay, okay. And so I'm looping, doing my orbit thing. I just kind of go and gather. Y'all said it last week or this week, I'm the gatherer. I'm the ADHD gatherer. Don't you forget it. I won't let y'all remind you in 10 minutes. Sarah hasn't posted anything. Ryan's video last night was disturbing. It was. He was scared to death. Someone was going to do something to stop him from testifying. And I mean, that's exactly what they do. They're bullies. And by they, I mean Tim and them. they, this is what they do. And this is the first time I left a long ass comment under that video, but by the time I get to the end of it, I'm like, it's just a run on sentence. At that point, it feels like, but I wish that I could talk to them. I really, I don't know. I mean, I leave comments like that quite often, I've thrown super chats. I can't lately, I can't. I need, I gotta live. I gotta feed my kids. But, um, I try to support. I don't know. It just seems like when people become, and I'm not this is not everybody, but my consensus is, it's like you are raised in that echo chamber in that religious system, and then you leave that religious system, and then you go into, your own, like you're getting away from such a harmful and toxic system, but you also have always not reached beyond your barriers, your community. You still, help one another. And I'm just like, hey, non-Mormon. I'm a non-Mormon with a Mormon ass story. Just saying, I don't want it. You know, I would love to just give it back, but you know what I mean. I would trade it. I really would. Yeah. I've reached out to both. I mean, like, I've left a long comment again, yesterday. I was just like, I mean, there's so many things. I don't want to, I don't want to steal anybody's thunder. I'm not here for that, And so I don't know if I'm like, maybe they think I'm too conspiratorial. Maybe they think I'm just Poe and old. I don't know. Maybe they think I'm a hick. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they think I'm trying to take something away. I don't know what they're thinking. And I'm just like, hey, hey, y'all, you know, it baffles me more than anything. I'm just so glad that Megan came along and I'm like, hey, girl, she's not afraid to reach out. So that's awesome. I really do it. But she also, I don't think she was raised in Utah either. She was kind of outside of it. Kind of, depends on what geographical Mormon you are, I guess, and ex-Mormon. Sorry about that. I think this is my new one. I've been drinking the old one, I think. Yeah, it's not that old. All right. So, what I'm going to do, I do too. It's right on point. I'm like, yes, yes. Whenever, I mean, even before when they had not, found each other. I mean, kind of, but not with this case and everything, Ryan and Kara. And I watched both. and I'm just here. I'm just trying to figure it out too. And teamwork, I mean, it helps you not feel so damn alone because it's a very lonely place to be. I mean, forever, I would not even talk. I would just be like, "Oh, no, I'm not gonna say anything right here," and I still kind of won't. It's very intimidating. They are intimidating. It's intimidating to just even say things publicly because it does sound whack. And I'm like, it's not my whack. It's not I'm not like, hey, let's go do this. No. I'm like, hey, they're doing this. And I think they're doing that. And it matches what these ones over here are doing. Okay. But I'm so happy and glad and proud. And I was like, thank God. Ryan mentioned Tom's name and the guru, and he needs to add Julie's. Ryan, if you ever hear, hey, first off, and you're a fucking hero, okay, over here. So you just keep on, you know, Tim is a demon in the corner, and you are freaking him out, and not just you. His own actions are freaking him out because it's like a consequence. Everything has a consequence, whether it's good or bad. So if you're doing shitty things out there, like Tim and them, in my opinion, then that's why he's paranoid. Not Ryan, but I mean, Ryan kind of reminded me of like what it must have been like for Uncle Charles, kind of just like looking over your shoulder a little bit, but then probably reasoning with yourself like, I'm not crazy. But then as soon as you become complacent, that's when stuff happens. So it's he's a hero. I mean, I look at him like, salute, because that took some kajongas to go over to Colombia by yourself and face some really I don't think they were ever his friends. People like that are never your friends. They just need you at that time. They're narcissists, and it's a matter of time before you are dispensable and you are trash, and they will throw you away just like that. Yeah. Narcs hate consequence and accountability. They hate they don't like confrontation, but man, just listening to I can't find Ryan's video. Oh shit. It's on Cara Burrell is what it's under. I'm so alone. It's crazy. I only get to see people I care about in courthouses laugh out loud. It makes me wonder about my life. Yeah, same. Your life choices. But I'm like, just it's a push pull. It really is. It's a push pull because I do get a lot from engaging with you guys, talking things out. I get so much. My lights are going crazy again. Every time I put it on low, I don't know why it draws more power, it seems. Damn gang stalkers. I'm just picking. Maybe. I just hope Brian's word as an American white man will be received on the same level as Tim's words over here. Oh, so yeah, I got to go. Yeah, let me show you this because I didn't even know. Remember how we caught that episode that Tim went on to the last dispensation with Troy Abels, and then they deleted it, but we have it right here on difficult research. It's for members only. I don't know how. I don't feel comfortable enough putting it out there. We analyzed it, so I mean, a lot of it is out there in pieces, and I did some shorts on it. But they're not gangster. They don't play fair, so they'll be ripping your whole damn channel down and shadow banning your ass because Ken Crow, he's all up into the hashtags. Okay, I watched a whole seminar he did, and it was all about hashtags, and I was like, yeah, well, there's mine. I stay over here in the gutter with all the other cool gutter rats. Um, And that's okay. You just keep on trucking. Hmm. Oh, yeah. So the video, yeah, I'm too. Um, oh, so Tim was saying in that video that was, you know, privated by Troy Abel's uh the last dispensation. It was around I think it was August 2nd because I was having to watch Hidden True Crime and I was watching Rob Wood interview on there and I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna go put it recording because things get scrubbed. I've learned. And so that's what I do. Tracy, you're not late. You're right here on time. And we have rewind too. So yeah. You just missing thought process. That's all. Um and psychoanalyzing, a whole group of people. Fun stuff. Uh but the video that was taken down, okay, and privated, that was around August 2nd. And this video I'm about to share with you it's about 24 minutes long. And we're gonna go through it. I don't know how you want to do it. Hey, Mormon News Roundup, you rock. I like your shit. Your show, not a shit show. Okay. How's it going? The videos and post are down, but they were there earlier when I checked. Are you talking about Ryan Fisher? And the one he did that we're talking about? No, thank you. Keep up the good work. I really like your take on it. I do. I'm not Mormon, but I watch your show religiously. Ha ha ha. I've had to kind of stick my nose in some Mormon undergarments. It's a joke. I couldn't think of anything else. I listen to Glenn Beck every day, and I know he's now against him, but I'm here for it. I don't know. I'm still feeling him out. I think they all have like different roles to play. Mutsos, same way. Um, Rod Meldrum, the same way. It's like this. It's not even so much the church. It's like this brotherhood. It's the whole. I don't know, but it's like these sayings that they say. Tim, he used, and I don't know why I pick up on this kind of stuff. You know, I'm ADHD again. Okay. Um, keep your powder dry. Awake and arise. Rise up. Okay. I don't hear other Latter Day Saints saying this kind of stuff on a record repeat. I hear infiltrate, second coming. That's a biggie. It's not the same thing though. So don't be alarmed when you hear uh and I don't let me not advise this because there are some that do say they talk to Jesus in the flesh and that the second coming is nigh, and you know what I mean, and that they have to round up the 144,000. Okay, and they're damn gods. Whew, that's nuts. Still, that's nuts to even just. I can't wrap my head around it. I did enough, Mom. I watched the very tail end, but I was running late, of course, so I'll have to go watch it on rewatch. I was glad to see him. I'm glad to see him getting after it. Maybe one day I can have him on here, and vice versa. If I'm not gonna push myself over there, but um, blah, blah. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So I've been collecting these clips, of just these different sayings that they say. Chad, bacon. Okay, it's something about some damn bacon. Jason Mal too. Lori too. There's somewhere. It's like I don't know. Once I hear it twice, then I'm like, let me file that in my head somewhere. I might need it. They might say it again. Then you as much as I study them, uh, I'm like, oh, yep, 3 times, it's a damn pattern now. It's locked in. And yeah, that's what I mean, because I'm not Mormon and I'm not really a biblical, just don't know scriptures. I don't. My Uncle Bobby can recite them. I'm like, but what does it mean? I'm that person. I just never I knew, like, "Our Father who art in heaven." I don't what is it called? The Lord's Prayer, maybe? I think I don't know. I just I don't know. It just wasn't for me. It doesn't mean I disown God. I mean, or just a higher power. I don't know. I don't have to know, and that's the cool part about it. I actually watched who did I don't know the name of the channel to even tell you guys. Oh, it's a couple that left the church, but you know how normally you see them on Mormon Stories podcast, and I'm like, not saying that they haven't been, they may have been, but um, he had gender dysphoria. I think that's the word. I'm sorry if I'm using it wrong. And she had trouble conceiving, and the priest said, anyways, I cried my ass off at the very end of that. Oh my God. I was just like, ooh, because it's not about labels. It's not about these systems that we find ourselves trapped in and that we claw our asses out, and we can see our scars and our bruises and all our pain, but it's humanity. That's just how I look at it. But it's interesting. It has just intrigued my ass since jump. Anyways, all right, let me shut up, right? And let me find the right YouTube window. I only have 15 windows open, maybe. Okay. Um, all right, found her. Okay. And I don't know. I like her. I just do. Let's see. I always have to fix my aspect. All right, first one. All right. So this is Kelly Suarez. That's why today is a soiree. I was like, we'll have a Suarez soiree. Okay. And then it said that it had to be like in the evening hours. And I was like, but you had to dress up nice. So just pretend to have a prom dress on. Okay. With the poofy sleeves. Okay. That'd be funny. Hey, Donnell, how are you? Yeah, I know. Oh, you know who I want to get on? And it's something I didn't watch before. Randy Bell. I was like, wait, so he's like murder houses? We need to talk to him. We need me. I shouldn't have said it out loud, damn it. Everybody gonna be like run into him now. But the Heaven's Gate cult, and I'm just like, I just want his take, it's not to, I don't know. I'm just not very outgoing like that. Yeah, shoulder pads and the higher the hair, right? I'll try to be like the temples they're trying to build. Oh my god. The higher the temple, the closer to God. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, all right, enough about that. All right, so I'm gonna turn my captions on and I'm gonna put them to English because you're really gonna have to catch up. Or I can let her talk for a little bit and then I can kind of repeat what she's saying. Let me know how you want to do this. I was like, well, I could do a voiceover, and I'm like, no, that's just way too much. That's me overthinking shit like I normally do. Oh damn. Really? Wasn't like this on my TV. And I passed it up. And I'm going back. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me tell you what date this is. Okay, so I don't know what this says besides Tim Ballard and its price traffic. I did take Spanish, but I've been out of damn high school for since 1996. So there's that. Cartagena, Kelly Suarez, something silence, Sound of Freedom. Okay. And this is on El Universal Cartagena. And again, this is like a little over 24 minutes long, but it's well worth it. It was a month ago, July 17th, 2024. And I want to say that's what I was saying earlier. And I never finished because, okay, so that video that we got and we have, of Tim that was taken down by the last dispensation. Okay. We have all but the last 7 minutes, and we're okay with that. Oh, gaslighter, man. Woo. But Tim was saying that these ladies, their lawyers were there, and they were, he got them arrested and all this lies, just more effing lies. Okay. Oh, Tim, boy, I'm gonna make a shirt that has Vic, and then I'm gonna have to, I can't put Tim on there. I would love to. Victim, just saying. I don't know. But I'm like, well, maybe their attorneys were in Colombia when you were gaslighting and victim blaming all of your victims, Tim, in my opinion, allegedly. Um, maybe these ladies' attorneys were there to do this interview because they were in it at the very end. And I'm like, oh, you get a little insight. And they speak some good, well, he does. He speaks some good Spanish. All right, ready? And let's go.
Cuando digo mi nombre, Kelly Suarez, me cierran puertas porque me relacionan con Sonofrido.
Todo es falso de esta película.
Todos los menores niegan cualquier ofrecimiento económico a cambio de favores sexuales.
En 2014, un operativo internacional desmanteló una supuesta red de tráfico de menores en una fiesta en la isla de Barú. El caso alcanzó el eco mundial porque uno de los capturados era Kelly Suárez Moya, quien había sido candidata a reinado de la independencia de Cartagena y a quien se mostró como una reina de belleza.
La joven de 20 años está acusada de integrar una red de tráfico sexual de menores que ofrecía niños a pedófilos extranjeros en fiestas en Cartagena.
Aparentemente ella se dedicaba a reclutar a estos menores para inducirlos a la prostitución.
La reina proxeneta también ha salido en videos de reggaetón. Y en este, del cantante Juanis. Pero no de nada le valió su popularidad ni belleza, porque ahora está acusada de reclutar menores para prostituirlos y cobrar por ellos entre $250 y $1,500 a pedófilos mayormente extranjeros.
That's her.
Kelly estuvo 18 meses en prisión. Después de quedar en libertad, se había mantenido en silencio, pero hoy, casi una década después de su captura...
I don't know how y'all want to do this, because I mean, I could turn them down, and kind of do like that. Wait, y'all want to do that? I can read them. I mean, because, it sucks. You have to really pay attention, and it's hard. And, I bog all my machines down with all of the space that I use. Screen recording all these suckers because they scrub stuff a lot. All right, so we'll do that, I guess. I didn't even see. I'm sorry. Precious the same age as my daughter. Dang, I can't read the book. Do y'all want me to read and just lower it down and I kind of do a voiceover? A live voiceover? Gotta let me know. Randy Bell, yeah. And I went to look up Adam Steed's email too. I don't know. I feel I don't know. Need to reach out. It's like we have Lori's trial left. And then I'm like, okay, third shot. I feel like Eminem on the 8 Mile. No, I'm joking. Okay. Thank you, Detective's daughter. Thank you. You get a sticker. I'm just going to read the captions. So they could be off. Just know that. Let me see if this is too loud. Okay. Let me just back that up a little bit. All right. Let's try this again. After this lady. All right. Apparently she was dedicated to recruiting these minors. This is basically, they're telling this news story wrong. Like, this is why Kelly is suing them for defamation because of the character played. I mean, she was a teenager, and you'll see in just a second. Let me just keep going. She was dedicated to recruiting these minors to induce them into prostitution. The pimp queen has also appeared. Oh, I don't know who that is anyways. And this musician here. That's her. Man, they fast. But you're welcome. Her popularity and but you welcome her popularity and beauty here. This might not work. This might not work. But you're welcome her. Okay, you welcome her beauty, not worth it because she's now accused of recruiting minors to prostitute between 250 and whatever to pedophiles, mostly foreigners. Oh, I'm gonna turn it back up. We gotta figure this out.
Estuvo 18 meses en prisión. Después de quedar en libertad, se había mantenido en silencio, pero hoy, casi una década después de su
I know what I'll do. I'm gonna read the news article first, okay? Because it's not long, and it'll just kind of give you the gist of it, and then we can keep up from there. Allegedly. All right. Oh crap! Hold on. I just went to. Tim is playing through something, and I can't find him to shut him up. Where's it at? I can't find it. Oh, there he is. American Crime Journal got me. Okay. All right. Damn, I gotta get my head back. All right, just grab some popcorn for a second. I gotta look it up real quick. Everything looks different than on my TV, my phone, my computer in there. All right. Oh, here it is. Okay. I was like, I sent it back here. All right. Let me share this with you. All right. Let me translate it real quick. I can't stand all these ads, y'all. Or all the things, they're very distracting. I need all the real estate I can get. All right. So this was April 13th, 2016. And the headline says, my freedom was my birthday present, Kelly Suarez. All right. So this is again April 13th, 2016. El Universal. Okay. Kelly Johanna Suarez Moya, the former candidate for the independent reign. It's like a beauty contest. Okay. It's like that's the title. Who was captured on October 11th, 2014 in the Rosario. I'm not Spanish, so obviously islands, linked an alleged case of pimping, was released this Tuesday. Thanks to a writ of habeas corpus filed by her lawyer, Zabala. I don't know how to say it. Quote, on Monday, I turned 22 years old. 20, it says I turned 22, then 2 years old. It was the best gift God could have given me. I tell you, I couldn't believe it. No matter how many times they held hearings with me and postponed them. Right, Kay Layla? Right there. I can't imagine what that's like for a prisoner. I mean, just like Lori and Chad. I'm just like, God dang. Wait, we haven't even gotten there yet, I mean, don't get excited because you're going to stay there. That's what I'm thinking as, I'm going through that process with Lori and Chad. But, not everybody is guilty. This whole process has made me think things through like this. Like, there's a lot of people that are imprisoned who are innocent. And that is frightening. If you really think about that, what if it was you, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your family, like what would you do? And I mean, there's people that have been put to death. There's people that have, I mean, I'm just, don't freak out. I'm very fair about it, because that's what it's supposed to be, right? Fair, our judicial system. Not just when, we think they put away the bad guys. And that's like our bias, that's our bias. Anyways, I just don't. I don't want it. I don't want Chad and Lori in jail, in prison for the rest of their lives if they did not commit the crimes. I mean, that is like defeating the purpose. That means the killer is still running loose, and my mom's name is on the hit list. Rhonda, she's a zombie. Remember? I'm just, I don't know. Look at Angie Dodge's mom. I mean, that woman is badass in my opinion. It's very sad what happened to, Chris. Hold on, let me go turn my air off. It's cold in here. It's always so loud. Okay, yeah, y'all can hear me. Okay. Sorry. Now I can have my freaking mind back. My dad was texting me, so I missed him a little bit, but the defendants in the 2017 case I've been covering are innocent. But I can say law enforcement and prosecutors on Chad and Lori are top notch. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they bend the rules a little bit. And I mean, I mean, it just, and I'm not for or against it. I'm just like, that don't seem right. But of course, I'm not a lawyer and I'm not in that field. But, it's just some things just are like, I wonder. And kind of like whenever Lori freaking was sent to the mental facility, I'm like, was she really cuckoo? I mean, nothing changed. She was the same. I'm like, was she talking a little bit too loud? And you just have to put her back in check in another LDS owned mental hospital. I mean, what they do, zap her a bunch? I mean, I'm just saying. And then just the way it happened. It's just the way it happened. I will never. I actually want to go back over those filings. I mean, just to go through them again without all the pressure and the, and just kind of knowing what I know now. It's interesting. I'm not professional. I'm not an expert. I'm just throwing it out there. But, just go through those filings again because I think it's highly suspicious that Lori just, from Black, what is it called? Not Pocatello, but anyways, Idaho. She's assigned some homework by her mental health technician, and that homework is, I guess, find you a new attorney, girl. Because Lori she called the 800 LDS helpline straight up. And then she didn't just get an operator. No, not all the shows that I've watched, you've watched, I know I forget the name of the channel that did it, a big deep dive into the level of, skilled people answering those phones, when there's a victim that's calling that helpline. They're from England. I forget their names. Oh, anyways. But sometimes there would just be one person manning the phones and, then it's mainly just to catch, it's just there for the church. It's not there for the victims at all. Straight up, point blank. And so it was just so suspicious to me whenever, because it's like I learned all that at the same time. I watched that whole Vice not hit piece, because it's not a hit piece, but that Vice piece about, I can't remember all the names, Michael somebody. And he just kept reoffending. Like that is very much the case with a lot of these stories, not just every now and then. It's an epidemic, or what do you call it? Systematic, and it's obvious. It's very obvious. And it sucks that people are having to learn this way, and find out this way. It's sad, But it makes me think back to Lori. I'm like, okay, so was she directed, basically, is what I'm getting at. Was she directed by her mental health technician? It's not far out there. I mean, it really isn't. Not where I'm from. It's how I've looked at this entire bizarre case, and all the bizarre interference by the church, hey, don't talk to law enforcement, you know, come to us first. It's weird, but yet they participate in trying to find Elizabeth Smart. And I'm like, well, Tylee, JJ, Charles, Tammy, they were active, faithful Latter-day Saints. I mean, again, I have a receipt from my Uncle Charles from when they lived in Hawaii. He paid $12,000 just for him. Not a year. It was 6 months. It was six months. Yeah. And in tithing, and I'm just like, well, he paid basically to just be, just look the other way, and then not only him, but him and his children, and it's sad. It's so effed up. And not one time did the church offer to extend its platform to, um, try and help us find the kids, or, just make us feel warm and fuzzy inside. I don't know. They're pretty good at, I'm sorry. I need to shut up. Blah, blah, blah. Just false hope, I mean, they're pretty good at that, in my opinion, from what I see. It just made me really step back big time and say, wait, whoa, this is a church. And so, but they're not being Christ-like. That was a big red flag for me in the midst of trauma and tragedy and chaos, it just was not right. I'm like, yes, the local ward, the community has rallied around my family to find these kids and to get justice for all of them, and Tammy and Joe and Charles, but not you fuckers. I'm sorry. I mean, not you either, Tim Ballard, Mr. I'm a, you know what I mean? You suck. Instead, you break bread with them and you let Chad Daybell raise money for your cause the same weekend that Tylee was murdered. And then your friend, Rod Meldrum, goes there with all his posse, Melanie Gibb and David Warwick, and they all show up when JJ was murdered. It's so weird, but not. It's coincidence theorists that get on my nerves these days. Okay. Straight up. And actually, they don't really even bother me because I keep trucking. Anyways, but I'm just saying, again, let me hurry up so I can get back to this. Did the mental health technician somehow, I don't know, put it either upon herself, or was she put up to get Lori to reach out in order to muddy up the waters a little bit? Okay. And by Lori calling 1-800-LDS helpline, she got straight through to Daniel Dan McConkey, of all effing people, not just the little person answering the phone for free, because they're not getting paid. Okay, they're volunteering, I'm sure. And she gets Daniel McConkey. Daniel McConkey doesn't call her defense attorney, whether he's qualified or not. Mark Means, he didn't call Mark Means. No, he called the effing prosecutor. Okay. And then he called the new attorney that wasn't even assigned yet, the death penalty attorney that wasn't even assigned yet. How was she assigned not one death penalty approved attorney, but two? How was she assigned those in order to intercept those calls, or, during that whole debacle? Oh God, no. Yeah, I didn't even think this far. Now that I'm talking about it, it's crazier. How was she assigned these death penalty qualified attorneys that were also contacted by Daniel McConkey, allegedly? No. I don't remember, but Rob Wood for sure. Daniel McConkey reached out to Rob Wood, and either Rob Wood or McConkey reached out to Jim Archibald. It's one of the two. But nobody told Mark Means, who was not DQ'd yet, from my recollection. Okay. And Lori had not gotten out of the mental health facility in order to get the news that her case was stayed while we were awaiting her mental health, her fragile not so fragile mental health, because the wench is still doing the same thing now. Yeah, nothing changed. I don't think she knotted up. I really don't. But anyways, let me move on. Probably driving y'all nuts. Okay. Back to Kelly Suarez. Okay, I'll start back here. On Monday, I turned 22 years old. It was the best gift God could have given me. Let me back this up a little bit. I tell you, I couldn't believe it. No matter how many times they held hearings with me and postponed them, I told him, she's talking to God, Father, when am I going to get out of this place? Said the former queen, whose arrest caused a national stir about her release order. The arrest of the former popular queen of the San Jose Obrero sector took place in the middle of a walk. This is a thing they do. They go and walk. Not as some I need to go do. Anyways, in the island zone of Cartagena, in the operation of the Attorney General's office, theirs, against child prostitution, even foreign actors participated. Quote, I found out about that trip, just like everyone else, through an invitation that was sent to us on Facebook. And this made me automatically, y'all know, and I hope it's clicking for you too, if I'm not chopping it up too bad, Alex Cox. And that interview with the lady from Colombia who was sex tourism. Okay. This is where Alex would go. I mean, Adam said it. He was like, Alex doesn't normally take vacations. He usually goes to Colombia and spends time and whatever with women, you know? And I'm just like, this circle is just closing in. Okay. It's closing in quickly. And I mean, I always kind of thought about it every now and then, but I was just like, yeah, there's so many of them, but birds of a feather flock together, my friends. I'm not saying that Alex and Tim Ballard are buds, but I'm just saying that they might be in the same brotherhood society thing. Keep your powder dry, Anyways, I don't know. But I'm going to go listen or re-listen to that J is for Justice. She did an interview. You can also find it on Reddit as well. They talk about it on Reddit. Anyways, her name is Maria. All right. I found out about that trip just like everyone else through an invitation that was sent to us on Facebook. I didn't know anyone on that trip. I made a mistake by sitting at a table where some supposed businessmen were sitting. This makes me think of Paul Hutchinson. Oh, and just that whole privilege, white, Mormon, vanilla, just that whole, and then turn them loose for a little bit and they go and soak and do provo push and stuff. Okay. They're going to go bend the rules somewhere, everywhere. Anyways, I need a hush. So she made a mistake by sitting at that table. And when I saw we had the prosecutor's office and the CTI on top of us, said Suarez about the arrest. Regarding the charges against her, the former queen reiterates that she is innocent and that her innocence will be proven in the trial. That's this one now. This was in 2016 when this article, she had just gotten released from that hobby. I can't remember it. That weird legal term. Oh God, habeas corpus or whatever. And so here it is, 2024, the end of 2024. And she's like, she says the queen reiterates that she is innocent and that her innocence will be proven in the trial and in the judicial process to which she remains linked. And not just linked, y'all. I believe she is smeared bad because, yeah. Quote, I consider myself to be another victim. And I know and have faith in God that my name will be cleared and my innocence will be proven in the name of Jesus, she says. What's next for Kelly? As for whether she will continue with her dreams of having a modeling agency, the former queen said, quote, I don't like this too. There is no success without setbacks. Right now, I don't have that idea because when I was in jail, everything fell apart for me. It's time. It's time, and I'm still in doubt because it's something very strong what they have done to me. They have exploited the shit out of this girl. They have scapegoated her, in my opinion. I'm serious. And still doing it. Still doing it. And she went to prison. Tim Ballard just seems to fit that mold. He don't really, again, just that whole narcissist type look they're going for. I don't know. Blows my mind. Everything, okay, blah. It's time, and I'm still in doubt because it's something very strong that they've done to me, but I can't go back on my dream. I can't let my dreams fall apart, unquote. For now, the former queen will spend time with her family and waiting for the oral trial. Again, 8 years later, right? Yeah. Okay. That's nuts. I can't imagine. She was 22 right there. So, I mean, she's 30 now. Not with a corrupt government over there. Hangs out with Tim Ballard. That's all I'm saying. And Sean Reyes. And all Tim and them. Okay. For now, the former queen will spend time with her family and waiting for the oral trial, which has not yet begun a year and a half after her capture. On Monday, my birthday, the court clerk arrived at the prison. That's awesome. But he arrived late at 5 in the afternoon. That sucks. I had to wait until Tuesday. That night, I couldn't even sleep. My friends told me to go to sleep. My mother waited for me with a hug. After I got home, my family called me, all happy. It's a great joy, but especially for my mother, she says. Kelly says that in prison, she made new friends, changed her lifestyle in part, and got closer to God. Quote, when I was at home, I was very mystical about food, but in prison, I saw some slices of egg, and they seemed delicious to me. That's called humble. That's what that's called. And I got chills everywhere. That day, which was a Tuesday, I told my mom, make me rice with grated cheese, something simple, warm, delicious. I felt very good. The important thing is that I'm with my mom. I want to adapt to society again. It is not easy to be a year and 6 months in that place. Although that time was not so wasted because I met God. Before I did not know about God. Quote, her innocence will be proven, unquote. Her attorney, Antonio Zabala, I don't know, says that the same evidence provided by the prosecutor's office to accuse her will serve to prove Kelly Suarez's innocence. Now, this to me sounds like a technicality and not so much like, hey, here's her ID. She was underage. And, with especially all I don't know what they have over there. I mean, I would love to hear from Ryan. Really, he's the reason I even was like, well, while we're waiting, I need to brush up on this because the other day I couldn't even tell y'all much more than her name. And she's very much part of the story, very much a part of the story, and gets smeared every day, every damn day. Every time the story gets told incorrectly, the way Tim Ballard and them have spun it for their benefit, for their lie to fit into their really legit narrative that ended up, that's why she's suing Angel Studios as well. Because yeah, I mean, it's so much deception. It's crazy. It's next level. Okay. I always lose my spot. This is just a game I play. All right. Attorney Zabala says that the same evidence provided by the prosecutor's office to accuse her will serve to prove Kelly Suarez's innocence. Quote, the code says that when there are more than 3 detainees, the authorities have 240 days to start the trial. And the trial has not started, and it is not the fault of the defense. We presented a writ of habeas corpus that came after several requests for release due to expiration of terms, says Zabala. Quote, the prosecutor's office provided a series of material evidence, including the acquisition of a means of supplying data for videos, in which analyzed one by one, there is no participation by Kelly Suarez Moya. There was an error in judgment here. At the time of her capture, she was sitting at a table where she was taken for reasons that were not criminal. In other words, she had the intention of meeting people who could help her in the development of a modeling agency, unquote, the lawyer asserts. That checks out to me because, Pedro, you're going to see Pedro here in a minute too. He looks like he is drugged with some ecstasy, bad. And I mean, I heard them mention it in another story, and I was like, oh, yeah, he's definitely on the E. Okay. But I mean, it makes me think of JJ and how he had GHB in his little system. He was 7. And we don't know what Tylee had because, you know, just saying, birds of a feather flock together. They gather. That's something that my friend Sue Ellen reminded me of about, and I'm not trying to start a war, but, and I mean, I call it the word too, because again, I'm a stickler for words, right? Especially when I hear them over and over again. And when Lori says that creepy recording with Jason Mao, and she's like, we're brothers and sisters, we're gathering, you know, the saints, that whole thing, that mind control sound or whatever the hell. Oh my God. And I mean, and that the people that are buying Chad Daybell's property, I mean, I'm sure it's not intentional, but it's just one of those things where, you know, you're like, But they're wanting to transform it into a memorial / park or somewhere to honor the victims and other victims too. However, you know, it says for the community to gather. And I'm like, you know, why the sacrifices were made, right? Just saying. Anyways, all right. So this is her. This is her and her mom. This is Kelly and her mom. This is 2016. This is 8 years ago. And this was her, represented the San Jose Obrero sector in the independence reign. Okay. I'm trying to think of what I pushed next because, all right, let me get back over here. Let me go just say hi to y'all. Hey. Despite being a beauty queen, she is a minority in her own country as a dark-skinned person. It's like Tim knew he could accuse her. And she was going after, she was already, I found some videos actually that predate meeting Tim Ballard, or this bus date at least. I mean, but it's her, and so she's like 16, 17. She was 17 the day they picked her up. But it's like it got pinned on her. And can't you see those wormy white guys letting that happen? Like, well, you know, I got a reputation and, you know, I got people to bamboozle today. So yeah, one for the whatever, sacrifice one for the many, whatever the hell that saying is. I always mess it up. Justify the I don't know, the gain and the means, and I don't have time for all that. It's still smoky. Oh yeah. Y'all need to chill out over there, Cheech and Chongs. Yeah, speaking of, light them if you got them. Anyways, all right, let me try and find something that's legible. All right, I'll play this. Oh, yeah, I wanted to show this, y'all, because this is like Tim Ballard and Catherine are going to get their babies. You know, when they, and again, in my opinion, I don't see Tim. This is just me, and let me know what you think. Okay, this is one of those things where I'm like, okay, no, you're just being really harsh to myself, you know. But it seems like sometimes it appears, in my opinion, at least, it's just my opinion, that ever since the adoption of those two beautiful kids from Haiti, that probably, in my opinion, are probably the only ones that ever got saved. Maybe a few here and there. But many more got counted for and praised and pushed, and the bamboozle. They became part of the bamboozle. But it's like the new accessories, and Tim poses with these children, not so much his white children, but the black ones. And I'm being serious. And it's super gross. It's like Lori adopting JJ because he was autistic, or I mean, not that she knew, yes, we knew there were going to be developmental problems, but maybe not, you never know how that's going to really happen and work out. But it's like a sympathy card. It's like, oh, I can play victim. Okay. All right. And that's the coup. That's their coup for until they outgrow it. And then what are they going to do? Toss them to the side? But at the very end, oh, god dang. I wanted to show y'all. They pick up their kids. I don't want to use their stuff because I don't want them to, this is from Tim Ballard official. Okay, so they land in the Salt Lake City airport, which sucks.
Did you hear that?
I cry whenever I see the two girls. And you'll see you'll see Tim Ballard's mom and dad, Melanie and Dennis Ballard. Crazy. See all the privilege there? So cute. It just breaks my heart. Her. He's cute too. So sweet. Oh, wait. Oh, well, dang. Look, there's Melanie right here. Okay. And there's Dennis right there. That is so sweet. This is a whole feel good moment there. Okay, we need them every now and then. The kids, they don't know boundaries. Love knows no boundaries. Beautiful. Frozen 2, holy shit. My bad. That's so sweet, So that, was I sharing it? I hope I was. Yeah. Okay. I was like, oh crap. Oh, you gotta lock the girl. Don't you be locking up no traffic people. It better be some damn chickens. I'm kidding. Oh. Yes, and it seems to me like it's just another opportunity to exploit. But again, kids, it's a learned behavior, racism and hate and you know, you know. It's a good little feel good moment, I think. We see enough crap. Oh my gosh. I don't need to open my windows up like that. All right. I'm trying to get back to my story here. I'm not doing a very fast job. Okay. Maybe it's this one.
Desafios na região.
Oh, this one's only 8 minutes. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh no. Yeah. Now this is the. Let me play this one. This is the abolitionist.
13 to 15 years old. That's what I'm doing. 13 to 15.
You're watching footage of an alleged child trafficker negotiating with someone he thinks is a customer, but the purported buyer is actually an undercover agent.
Y a él le gustan así, como te dije, le gustan pequeñas, frescas.
This remarkable video is featured in a new documentary called The Abolitionists. Crime Watch Daily's Melissa Moore goes inside the film, featuring ex-CIA agent Tim Ballard and his team of highly trained operatives who crisscross the globe, rescuing children from sexual slavery.
We all know the term child sex trafficking, but you see up close and personal.
You know, I sometimes like to use the term child sex slavery, where they force them to do sexual acts on video. And I'm talking, these kids are as young as 7 years old or younger.
Tim is the founder of Operation Underground Railroad. On this mission, the unit heads to the Colombian town Cartagena, where cutting deals isn't limited to dark alleys.
We have to pretend to be sex tourists, talking to taxi drivers, sitting on the beach and waiting for a vendor to come up and start offering us everything from drugs to adult women. And eventually it comes up. Well, how about children? At that point, we tell them that we want to have a party. We want to have a sex party. And we want children to be the objects of lust for this party.
For this job, the alleged...
I'm just saying, it's like they're creating the problem because this happens, but it's not, it's usually familial. Tylee and JJ were sex trafficked, or I don't know about sex. I hope not. Jesus Christ. I can only imagine though, but they were trafficked. Okay. They were trafficked by their mom.
Traffickers think they are bringing kids to a party where the children will be brokered to a bunch of American pervs. But first, the deal is struck, seen here on hidden camera. The big night comes. Tim and his agents spin an elaborate web. No detail is left to chance.
We're going to make a sign that says Feliz Cumpleaños a Maria. We'll get some balloons.
This girls can do that?
Yeah. So we're going to put that on the door. His wife. And that's for looky-loos outside who see 30 minors walking into a house.
Tim briefs the team on how the sting will unfold.
The rendezvous point, which a lot of you know is the hotel at the end of this street. Don't talk about that outside this room.
Then it's party time. The girls are herded like cattle. Traffickers thinking they're about to make a ton of cash, charging $300 per girl and $1,000 for a virgin.
Everyone's coming in.
Pequeña, le va a gustar al jefe.
Con los shots.
Eso
Nasty.
La piscina ahí, comida también tenemos. ¡Hola, muchachas!
14, 12,
¿El de 14? ¿Qué hace?
Sí.
Ella hace todo. The traffickers, in addition to the 12 and 13-year-old girls, brought these adult prostitutes who kind of hovered over the girls, kind of groomed them, showed them what they're supposed to do, and kept an eye on them. And these poor little girls were kind of mixed and mingled within this larger body of adult prostitutes.
Then on cue, Tim tips his glasses, giving the Colombian cops the signal to raid the phony party.
Hey, take the money back. No.
Once the guys are arrested, Colombian Child Protective Services march in to take charge of the kids. The Cartagena mission is a success, with 5 alleged traffickers arrested and the 29 kids rescued. These youngsters.
But do we ever, where are the convictions? You know, where's that? We don't have to see the victims per se. We know there's no aftercare. that Tom Harrison works for and is on, according to Brian, his video, was it yesterday, said that he was on payroll, and I'm just like, well, there you go. He's the brain specialist, so I'm sure he gets a good bankroll for his fake job and the fake aftercare from again, I don't think they're rescuing children, but I feel like there's a ton of them in their wake.
Having no idea Tim has saved them from their alleged abusers.
Imagine that for the children, as you're doing this operation, they think that you're the bad guys.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's one of the most difficult parts of the job, because to maintain our security, we get arrested with the rest of the actual bad guys.
Have you ever seen a child realize that you were their rescuer?
One time, it was October of 2014. It was the largest child rescue that I've ever heard of. We rescued over
trying to get that sharpened.
victims.
In this video, a different mission. The alleged traffickers brought children to an island, thinking they were going to partner up with the undercover agents to build a child sex hotel. But their plot was foiled. The bad guys were arrested, and somehow the kids learned that the Americans were actually their saviors.
All the kids, they're in these cabanas, and they run to the windows, and there's a screen, and they're crying, and they're singing, and they're saying thank you. It was so emotional. I mean, my hardened operators are crying. I'm crying. One of my guys behind me, I remember, grabs my shirt. He's pulling on it, and he's crying. And he says, you're hearing the sound of freedom.
But saving these kids is only part of what Operation Underground Railroad does. They also provide healing for the kids who will never forget the horrors they endured. Back in the United States, Elizabeth Smart, who was abducted as a teen and sexually assaulted, is joining up with this bold rescue operation.
How did she team up with you?
I think what really attracted to her to what we were doing was that we were going in and trying to rescue kids, and because she told me, she said, I sat there for 8 months hoping someone would just drop in out of the sky and rescue me. She said, I want to go back to the place in California where I was held captive. It was so empowering. And then she took us back to the camp where she was held and say, yeah, that's where he held me. Well, that guy's in jail, for life.
Running Operation Underground Railroad is expensive.
Hold on, let me stop it for just a second. Yeah, so you had to open up another business, there's another whiteboard right there, I see. It's just like, it never ends. We saw the whiteboard prophecy. It's a whiteboard meeting 2019, and then I'm here to tell you right now, I'm sitting on a 2016 whiteboard meeting, 2 hours and 13 minutes long, and they're everywhere. It's nothing against whiteboards, okay? I'm just saying these people are some master planners, and they really are good at what they do, because they dupe people continuously. And I mean, Tim saying that this is, his livelihood. He's like, those women, are holding me accountable. Basically, he don't say this, but I'm saying this. Those women are holding me accountable, and now the children are going to suffer. This many children can't be rescued. Oh, and will you pay my attorney fees too? Oh, okay. Yeah, we got that. Not GoFundMe, but something similar. It's disgusting. And then they cry on demand. Okay. And that's something, again, I think that we kind of see with people who go and bear their testimonies, and what's it called? Fast and testimony. Anyways, it's super gross. I'm about to show you Jesse's day.
So to help cover costs, Tim launched a CrossFit franchise, a place where the agents work out to prepare for their missions.
And so CrossFit actually subsidizes the operation.
That's right. We have 110 members and growing every week, and all the proceeds go right back into the rescue operations.
And some of the money is used to help victims move on to a better life.
We have victims who aren't even aware of what opportunities are in front of them. What can they do? We have victims who want to become a beautician, who want to go back to school and learn trades.
Mm-hmm.
So we can help provide those education services that they need.
Después de eso quiero estudiar turismo porque me gustan los idiomas y ese es mi sueño.
During the making of The Abolitionists, 57 children were rescued, and 7 criminals are now facing prison sentences from 20 years to life. And while the film documents a moment in time of humanity at its worst, beyond the cameras, Tim will continue fighting to save its most innocent victims.
Exploiting the whole way. Okay, I'm going to show you this. This is Expojo, Hellfire.agency. Check out his YouTube channel. I just found him because of Donna. Actually, she told me about him, and he did like 4 videos, but he includes Lori and Chad, Tom Harrison. He's very close to becoming a paralegal, and he's funny. I like his personality. Okay. But I'm going to switch to this one because I signed up to his Patreon. I can't share it. I'm not going to share it because I'm not going to exploit him. But this, okay, it's only had 20 views because it's behind a paywall, in my opinion. 20 views since October 12, 2023. Okay. And this is gold, in my opinion, because when I heard this, I was like, what the hell? It just, pieces I didn't know that were missing were flying together for me. But I brought it up to here because of what Kay Layla was saying about HSI and stuff. So just listen to this part. This is Jesse Stay. He used to do social media. He was hired by the church, by the effing church. He is no longer a Mormon. And he also worked for OUR to do their media, you know what I mean? Like brand ambassadors, he says. But that's what Ken Krogh does. And I'll show you in just a minute, Soul's Eye. I'll show you a little snippet of it. I don't want to just publish it because you know how they are. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to find out how they are any more than my family has, nope. No more blood atonement here. We are dry.
And then I remember doTERRA coming in.
I still didn't say his name. His name is Jesse Stay.
As well. And I remember that just being huge. Like it was a new audience that I could target with ads and a big deal. I do remember that kind of fizzling. I never heard why at the time. It was through Lynn Packer that I learned the details.
But you did say somebody had mentioned to you that about describing Tim Ballard as a narcissistic asshole. Is this what's that?
Someone that worked with him in Homeland Security.
Now listen,
these are people who worked with him before in his government work. Okay, but were they? I mean,
he was a horrible employee, by the way.
Oh, really?
He's about to drop it.
You had said something about that something will come out in these Freedom of Information Act requests about his track record in working for the government.
Everybody grab your pen.
What's that about?
I suggested that the press look into. I'd have to go through my list, but I tell you what, I'll pull it up right now. But
we're gonna kind of stutter over his words for a good bit of time here while he looks it up. I can't. I have no room to talk because I'm like all the time, and saying but what he's doing right here is someone had given him some notes that used to work with Tim at Homeland Security, and he's basically given us the recipe, like what to look for when I don't know how to file those kind of documents, file for that FOIA request. I don't know if I can afford it right now. So maybe we can pull together and, do this because only 20 people have seen this video.
I suggested that the press look into his time working at Operation Underground, at HSI, and looking into the HR records of his performance reviews, his time working there, when and what. I'm gonna try and pull this up while I'm talking, but the type of employee he was, the things that he's claimed to do, at HSI.
So this is HSI
I'd like to
too,
quote
not
it
just the
directly. It's
CIA.
in my video that I did, but anyway, but there's no way I'm going to find it on the fly here. But anyway, there it is. Just found it. So yeah, so the
yep.
The requests are
okay.
Okay. There we go.
Drum roll.
Find the beginning here.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are his results? How many of his rescues resulted in the successful prosecution of individuals or criminal organizations?
Besides
case closure statistics. How many of his child exploitation, human trafficking investigations resulted in prosecution and incarceration? Any communication regarding his performance, any internal affairs or management inquiries, Inspector General or Office of Professional Responsibility complaints and investigations, results of any management inquiries, OIG or OPR investigations. I don't know what that means. Monthly hours reports. It supposedly is where his lies will be caught.
Oh shit.
Let's see.
We have homework.
Anything else? The other thing that I find interesting, I didn't know him very well, but John Lines, who used to be in charge of all foreign operations for Operation Underground Railroad, he might even still be there.
And American Crime Journal, so that's Damon and Lynn Packer, right? And I don't remember who it was writing about it, but they don't like, or there's a beef there between ACJ, American Crime Journal, and John Lines because of the, I can't remember her first name now. Something Geis. It's a tip of my tongue. I don't know. I happened upon it while I was looking through all these articles about Kelly.
He was kind of Tim's
What's her name?
security guy over all of the offshore stuff for a while. He was also in that team and is supposedly pretty shady. And it's worth looking into him in any way possible. I was always trying to get to go on a jump with them, and they never want to spend money on the marketing side for some reason. Like they're always they used to say everything needs to go into the operations and such. And I was like, well, like send me down, like let's get some stuff on social media, do some lives down there, and I do some stuff from the front lines while we're down there. Maybe you can show me some of the orphanages and stuff like that, and we can figure out what we're allowed to do and what we're not.
But he became friends with Ed Smart, and Ed, when Ed was peeling away, and with Elizabeth Smart's foundation and everything, but it seemed like when he said this right here, it was like, that is because they have hold on, let me prepare it first so I don't give up my here. This is another whiteboard meeting, and I hope I'm sharing the whole damn screen. So this is Ken Krogh, and I'll let you listen to just I don't only one, I think one or two of the people show up. It's 2 and some hours long. I just don't know where to cut it, like where to pull the most important clips from, you know what I'm saying? And it's too long for it to generate itself. So anyways, it's very hard to hear too.
The model we call it is the picture capture model.
No caption.
And this is where it starts making sense, I hope.
But let me get to the names.
Now what's neat about you is you're a universal. We need to go back and do
So he's doing them.
the
This is
physical versions of
2016.
their 4 books already. Those are almost selling as much on Amazon as the originals. In fact, there are about 25 book companies who only summarize books for people. And so 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey has 7 other versions that only take 20 minutes to read, and they're making a killing.
Or listen to.
Because people don't have the attention span anymore. They don't want to read. They read the original book one time, but then they go read the condensed version like 10 times over the course of a decade.
Tear it
so
up.
These little they're called
I mean,
they're half the price of the original.
Shit. Tim's here. Matt. Okay, I get the Matts mixed up. It's the skinnier one. Okay. And I think Matt Osborne, right? I don't know, forgot the other one's last name. But there's somebody talking through a damn intercom, a girl. And Tim is there. I already said Tim. I don't recall.
It'll take you 20 minutes to go over.
Let me scooch. Here we go with the names.
The ones you know, and all of you.
Oh, and he calls them sharks. And I mean, we went through all this right here. Okay, this is, you're gonna go youth program, whatever. I don't know. Philanthropy. I don't know the C word right there. I don't know what that C word is. I can't read his damn handwriting. Why don't you work on that there, bub? The left, not the right, law. That means, law enforcement, firemen, faith-based. You got your Jehovah's Witness. I mean, he went through the whole thing. Active moms, right? The ones who sell the brownies, marketing is what they're doing. Educators, mount up. Patriots, I don't know. Veterans, LDS, that's big right there with their faith-based there. Anyways, what the hell is this? Black Lives Matters. This is before COVID, for sure. I mean, that's really when that came on to my, into my awareness. Black Lives Matters. Black Lives Matter. Whatever. I can't say it right.
We're going to start with Tim. Things you've already had some kind of interaction based on the OUR model. Okay. So just start throwing out ones you know.
Glenn Beck?
Yes.
But we can't say that he targets him because Glenn Beck is who financed him to start off OUR, right? Not. Because then I have a clip also that I can show you right now of Paul Hutchinson saying, actually, I can read it right here. He says, I'm talking about Paul Hutchinson, and it was a video he did a year ago. Because they're all pushing these fake, in my opinion, these fake organizations pretending to do humanitarian things, good things in the name of children and or Jesus, or both. And they're doing it, and they're using the emotionalism, the shock doctrine, the shocking language that Tim loves to throw on everybody. It traumatizes people. We don't realize it, but it does. I've been reading articles on that too, for a while. Because he's so vulgar, and it's like, dude, be respectful and say the R word and not, or say grape and corn like everybody else. Okay, so Paul admittedly funded all the pre-production, which was the abolitionist. Then it went to Operation Toussaint. I'm from the South, Louisiana at that, and we say Toussaint. And then it went into, that same footage. They pieced it together. It's just like Joseph Smith's damn doctrine. Okay. It's just a little dash of this and a little dash of that. Just like with Chad, nothing made sense. You take some energy healing from over here. You take just beliefs from everywhere, and you make a big gumbo out of it, or a soup, or at least you can eat that and get nutrients, but with their peddling, it's horrible. All right. Okay, so Paul admittedly funded all the pre-production. All of that was privately funded. He says, I was the first money in to make that happen. And then so I wrote, and then I was like Glenn Beck, Russell Brunson, Tony Robbins, Carlos Slim, Ken Krogh, and many more. Then he picked up and he said, the Waltons, Walmart family, together with Carlos Slim family, we could make that happen. I quoted that. We could make that happen. Then, even after we had it all filmed, we had people like like Disney like almost crushed us because Fox International had a few $1 million invested with us. A few. Okay? Just imagine how much money is not that Tim is raising money for is not going into the production of these films that you've seen the money that they're making. I'm not a polished person, but I am not dumb. Okay. Anyways. So he says Disney like almost crushed us because Fox International had a few $1 million invested with us. And when they got bought out by Disney, their goal was to be the distributor and take it big. I'm just quoting. That's about right. Basically he tells the audience, like they could do anything with the content. They can put me and Tim in a bed in the middle of it, and there's nothing we can do, and they can shelve it for 10 years. Oh my God, I can't believe I remembered something. Okay. And then he says, I'm going back to quoting or, paraphrasing him. Fox International, got bought out. Disney was like, no, we have nothing. We have nothing to do with that. We want all our money back right now. It almost crushed us. We had to come up with a bunch more money. And then we go out to Amazon, to Netflix. Everything is shut down. And that's where I stopped. But I mean, I have that pulled up too, because I'm just follow the money, right? Follow the effing money. Follow the profit with an F.
These are ambassadors. And this is not, so these I'm giving you now.
Oh, look, he just used Jesse's key term there because he said brand ambassadors. That's what Jesse says, but Ken here, he goes towards sharks, and there's another word. Hold on.
No,
right,
like they're already committed to doing. I could call them up and they'd be like, "Let's do it."
So these are yeses.
Yeah, these are already yeses.
Really?
What's that little girl?
They'll change the camera.
Lexi Walker. She's a yes. What about Brooke White?
Yes, ma'am.
Brooke White's a yes. She's already in. She does the thing I would ask.
Is Elizabeth still involved?
Elizabeth's a maybe.
There was a big pause there.
Yeah, she's not a yes.
Tough character.
I put her on there. No,
put her on there. We know.
Put her question.
Definitely not a yes.
She'll do anything we want.
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll do anything we want.
Yeah, you got.
Let me see. Let me go back. Little asshole.
Is Elizabeth still involved?
Elizabeth's a maybe.
There was a big pause there.
Yeah, she's not a yes.
Tough character.
I put her on there. No,
put her on there. We know.
Put her question.
Definitely not a yes.
She'll do anything we want.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you've got some friends that.
She'll say anything we want anyway. So that's what he said. I think she'll say anything we want. All right, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna let this play though. Let me exit out of this damn thing. Oh no, hold on.
So I'm gonna put a question mark there.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll be right back.
Nervous long friends up there.
Oh yeah.
Let me look.
Well, it would help her. Yeah. I mean,
This would help her.
a ton.
What it really means is she's probably
They're
got
like-
people guiding her around who are old school.
They're like Stone Age compared
Keep
to
going.
Terry Crews. He's pretty much a yes.
Wait, what's John Travolta's wife?
Kelly Preston.
Kelly Preston. And this is a great way to get to What's her? Marisol's friend, the cute, tall blonde.
Oh, Marisol Nichols.
Jenna Elfman.
As long as it's not the other guy.
Jenna Elfman?
Yeah.
Cascade.
Cascade.
He's got a billion followers. He's a millennial DJ that.
Keep going, Emily. What'd you say?
And he'll do. These people will do. I'm telling you.
They're waiting for us.
All of these people have told us, tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Montel Williams. There we go.
Adam LaRoche.
I know Alex Boyd with.
He was related until we met him at
Oh, Luke Bryan.
Luke Bryan.
What was LaRoche? What was that one? And he'll be here.
Adam LaRoche.
This month or in September.
I'd add Luke Bryan. I'd add Ryan Welch. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? No.
Yeah, why are we laughing?
We see Big Jesus as steering off the list.
Dude,
how much does it take on
we got this picture done. Shark. It's a whale shark.
Ballard, right? Ballard. You gotta edit that.
Delete.
Yeah, I've got a good picture of this.
Any other LDS high levels?
I heard we call Colin likes this, right?
Oh, you know what? We have the Slim family. So Carlos. Yeah, Slim
Alejandro
family.
Monteverde.
I include Eduardo. So these are the movie guys.
Yeah.
Eduardo Verástegui, Eduardo V. He's like the Tom Cruise of Mexico. No quite.
Sweet.
And he's in our pocket like 110%.
And
They're the ones doing the movie.
Ali. Ali Monteverde's got quite a following.
Ali Landry.
Ali Landry.
Former Miss America. 100%. Did the Doritos commercial during this?
Yeah.
The Doritos girl.
Yeah. So can I erase this now?
Yeah.
Go this way. Go this way.
Picture, Derek. Who? Derek, did you get a picture?
That's not bad.
Well, how about Sean Reyes and Governor Herbert? They're both fans and supporters.
Yeah, political. We've got some other politicians too, national, like a couple of congressmen. Congressman Paulson, Eric Paulson,
Chris Smith.
Eric Paulson.
Wait, what do you love?
A few
What
congressmen.
about the guys that Fox?
Maybe non-Utah. You can put out the Utah congressional delegation. I think of outside Utah.
So yeah, Brett Baer. Almost any Fox News we have.
And
Brett Baer.
Elaine Quijano. Didn't you see the one that did the CBS News piece on
And Elaine Quijano got him. What about the reporters that are on the Blades? Like Tony, the girl, the blonde. Yeah, I'm going on her show next week.
Did you guys put Tony Robbins up there? Tony Robbins.
Oh yeah, of course. She's big and social media. She does a good job. Okay, so you
That's
don't
a
go on
lot
her
of
show
people,
next
huh?
week. No, I should be.
Yeah, Tim. Mm-hmm.
We don't know. It's not confirmed yet, but
who is it?
What's her name?
There he is.
Emily, what's her name? The Blaze?
Lauren.
The Blaze.
Tommy Lauren or something.
Tommy Lauren? Something like that.
Lohren or something.
Yep.
Are we going on next weekend?
Amen.
I'll be in New York next week. Who's the other? There's a guy too that's really Buck Sexton.
Yes. Now, we have to really do a balancing act. Like I said, we got to, like over here, if we got Buck Sexton and Glenn Beck, we want to have probably O'Reilly, you know. We want to find that thesis antithesis, you know. We want to have balance as much as we can, and it becomes pretty easy to start doing it. But we want to hit Oprah,
Ellen.
Yes.
Would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And pretty much just the talk show folks.
Yeah.
So we need to do a deep dive into all of the talk shows, and what we start doing is when you fly out, we want to try and book you to a couple of things around that if we can. It's like if you're going to be there for some big one, we want to do a morning show and an afternoon show, and well, I mean,
it'd be fun to take one and run through the entire cycle. So the whole team's like, okay, we got Tony. We're on step 1 of step 13. Yeah, one movie. We did one film.
Is that that's a great question.
We got the blogs. We got the
Is that how you do it?
It is how you do it.
Okay,
The first time you do it is the hardest.
So you identify who's that one person that we're okay. But we still want to go ahead and do the list of everybody.
Okay, what if you,
Yeah.
again, a little left strategy, literally, what if you look at foundations or individuals who are huge global presence, i.e. Clinton Foundation. They've got a reputation problem right now. And what if you went after, whether it's a manufacturing, Monsanto, I don't know, that has questionable image. In my experience, they need us to help build their image. So Clinton, or the mining, the oil and gas, the ones that a lot of people think are destroying the world, need to run, and they've got their $5 billion advertising campaign. They need to show that, hey, we're doing things. We're helping. So
can you speak to one thing, please? It's easy to look at this and go, cool, I'm going to go get on here, and then you're going to make me super popular. But you've been on things before that didn't make you super popular.
So what was missing?
A flash in the pan.
What was missing?
What? That's my question. We've done this before.
There's only one thing that's been on, Brett. I mean, he's been right there. What's
what?
It's that circle. It's the conversion. Call to action.
No, we've had calls to action.
That's a deep voice.
They haven't been. I think they're just the same tired call to action. What's it say?
Well, you gotta have free ones to build
and
base, and then monetize ones to drive the revenue. And you're right. We gotta be intriguing.
Sure.
In
The
other words,
message is compelling.
what I'm trying
Not
to do
true.
is highlight that we have done this, and you can go down some of these steps. But if you don't
Beyond.
have everything, it doesn't work.
We don't have to
When we
reinvent
talk about this.
invent the wheel. Where did these come from? Who was the first person to do it? Lance Armstrong.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of a reputation image, but that was after the fact.
Well,
what was he
the
doing?
problem is that might have tainted the whole meeting.
It may have,
Yeah.
but the point being, these things were never
Cool.
But everybody has these now. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. Kids Cancer Foundation, Lance Armstrong Foundation, did something. They sold these for $10. I'm not saying that's not remote. I'm just saying there's something
really
there.
powerful, and the key, I believe.
I looked at one of Tim Ballard OUR's 990 reports, y'all, and just the merchandise income. I was like, good Lord, man. But my question here to this, what you're seeing, what you're listening to, what you're trying to listen to, unless I'm talking over it, I kept muting myself so I wouldn't talk. But this is before the 2019 secret Mormon, the whiteboard meeting that people had to sign NDAs for. And I mean, again, like I'm saying, they already have Glenn Beck in their back pocket. I mean, that's who allegedly started Tim off. It's like a group of like-minded men and women. No race. I'm just saying, it's like money is green, and that's what they're going for. And so it's not to get people, like the whole proselytize American Covenant thing. It's not to get people to believe in the same quote unquote Jesus that they believe in. That's not what they're doing, in my opinion. They don't even believe in, or they don't worship the same. Yeah, it's not the same. That's all I'm saying. I know that. And by the fruits, some family members are dead. And it's not. Anyway, so, but the more people they attract into their quote unquote club, church, group, cause, whatever it is that they are trying to sell, brand, pretend to be doing, whether it's religion, whether it's selling you peanut butter, it's to exploit you. And so it's like this list, and it gets bigger and bigger, you know. And oh, okay. Oh, eat? No. No. Yeah, no. No, I wouldn't. But anyways, what they're doing is just exploiting. So these people right here on this board right here are either going to help them, boost them. It's not about actually being honest and good and doing the right thing or the more good thing. Yeah, that's on purpose. It's about where can it get me, and they need me, and you know, I can get her to do and say whatever I want, you know. And we have politicians on here, we have assholes on here, we have other successful people, and they are networking. Again, very good at it. They don't care if it's Marisol Nichols, Scientology. They don't care. I mean, the church is moving into this direction. You can believe me or not. Hopefully I'm wrong, but it doesn't appear to be. It appears to be this one world belief that they are. I mean, it's one of the wider known conspiracy theories or whatever, but watching their behaviors, and again, I don't believe this, but I'm watching them and I'm just like, what the hell are they doing? Why are they like a death cult? Why are they accelerationist? Why are they like, yes, we're going to bring in the second coming of Jesus Christ? You plan on living is my thing. First off, I'm just like in my little bitty understanding of my world, I never was like, I'm going to write it out, you know, like it's a damn hurricane party or something. No. So right there, just the whole belief and preparation, extensive, making money off each other and creating this constant fear and anxiety and this whole industry, basically. Tents, Julie Rowe, near-death experience books, Tom Harrison, Chad effing Daybell, which I have. The only book I do have of his is the Top LDS 5 or whatever the hell that Wordwise read. I was like, oh, that's the only book I have, and all, you know, the pages fall out of it. So it sucks amongst everything else. But, and so I don't know. But they're creating the problem. And the church never steps out to correct it because the church is in on it too. Sorry. I mean, President Nelson is the skull and bones. So was President M. Russell Ballard. And I swear one day I'm going to get behind defending Utah's paywall, because I get to, you know, use on the website or whatever, defending Utah. I get to the part and I go to pay, and then something always like I get distracted. And so I don't know, I've just never gotten past it yet. But when I do a keyword search, it brings me to where I have to go behind a paywall. So I don't know if Tom Harrison is or not, but it wouldn't effing surprise me. George Bush was. It wouldn't surprise me if Frank Vandersloot. It wouldn't surprise me at all. He's Cub. So was Christopher Parrott. When you start thinking about and I also had read a long time ago, or, you know, a couple of years now, I guess. And I'd have to go find it to recite it or, you know, quote it verbatim. But it was either an ex-Mormon or a Mormon, but Lori Vallow, you know, the two collide. Subreddit or whatever. And it was this guy, I think he was a guy, and he was talking about how he had worked for Chris Parrott and how it was super sketch, you know, and that they would Christopher Parrott would get allegedly these big wooden crates in, and I'm thinking they're moving arms, you know, and ammunition and arms, and hello octopus, you know, here we go. Iran Contra. This is, you know, you got, I just, one of our state representatives from Louisiana, I forget his name, Mike something. I found it. I picked up one of we call him Lanyap. It's like a free community, magazine, paper. I don't know what to call it. Circular. And so I'm looking through it. I don't ever look at anything local anymore. I don't have local TV, and just like, oh, what's going on out there? It's raining. Oh, okay. Just totally out the loop. Right? Yeah. And sex trafficking. They're in it all. And it sucks. Again, I wasn't looking for these kind of answers. I was just looking for Thank you, Kate. Thank you for saying that, because I mean, I find excerpts in his book where he talks about program. He's remote viewing. He's in this programming talk, and Julie Rowe spits it like a damn lyricist. Okay, she's speaking of 8 Mile and Eminem. She goes into it, and I mean, again, it's like what Chris has gotten. He's been telling me what NLP. I'm like, what the hell is NLP or whatever? I think I'm saying it right. I'm not good at acronyms, but I've been looking into it because I picked up on the cadence like of Mike Stroud long time ago. I mean, I've spent nights just highlighting. There's like a cadence in their words. David Hamblin. I'd say he's the grandson of, he's not Tom Harrison's grandson, but allegedly, but he is, what's his name? Jacob Hamblin. He's related to Jacob Hamblin. They all, I've been watching this thing. I've been, following people who are researching and building cases this way, to corroborate the Hamblin daughters' testimonies. They're in their victim statements of Gordon Bowen. I dug it all up on McGarry Dent, or whatever the hell. It's a stupid name. The ad agency that Gordon Bowen, they steal people's ideas, allegedly. They take credit for other people's work. They are cheaters. They mock and they try to impersonate our empathy and how we think and feel. And then they prey on it and they exploit it. And I mean, that's just the best explanation I can give. I know it's simple, but yes, yeah. But so David Hamblin's dad, Robert Hamblin, when I saw that he was into behavior modification and that he got paid, him and his wife, June, they got paid by our government to perform these, I guess, experiments on poor children, from low income households. This is way back in the 60s, 70s. But they would do this reward system. Whenever I saw a clip that Fox 13 News by Adam Herbetz had provided, 2021-ish, there's a small clip when David Hamblin is talking to, it's like a documentary type. And this is after he walked onto a Native American reservation, procured a 2-year-old baby girl, and walked the hell off of that reservation with that baby girl, Alessandra Fishing Hawk. Then he proceeded to move him and Shalom Eastwood Levitt. They moved to a fucking castle in Scotland, which is where Nicholas Rossi. This is where I'm like, okay, there's different levels of these people, and they will turn on each other in a heartbeat, in a fucking heartbeat. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I am. And it's just interesting to see the dynamics of it, because I don't know why David Levitt, excuse my French, why he has such a hard on for Nicholas Rossi, aka all the other 17 names, Arthur Knight, who even faked his death. And they just got him into a Utah courtroom twice this past week and matched the DNA, wink, wink, that they've had on hand on file since 2008. So, and I mean, he's got an oxygen tank, and I mean, this, and he was a big, I don't really know all this stuff, to recite it accurately, but he was like, was it Rhode Island or somewhere over on the East Coast where he advocated, and I forget, I'm not politicky, so I don't know all the Senate, House, whatever the hell. It's like for Boys Town or something, because he got abused during his time in these these camps, these Boy Scouts of America, these Oak Island, these Midnight Productions, these Epstein. Tony Robbins owns a fucking island, y'all. I mean, it just doesn't. And then Tim Ballard is doing these fake, allegedly, this fake Operation Underground Railroad. Lynn Packer named it Hookers from Heaven, where he literally effing trafficked 10, I want to say allegedly 10 Venezuelan trafficked, these women who were six, it's just all Tim. It's whatever the hell. And so he gets, and this is that whole padlock story with Jessica Mass or whatever the hell. I don't trust her because they don't do aftercare. And so she's pretending she can suck it. But I mean, and Lynn Packer calls it out, y'all. He is cacao. To me, he's like Sandra Tanner. I'm like, there's the godmother and the godfather. And I'm just like, teach me everything you know. Oh, I could listen to them for years. I mean, just, okay, teach me everything. But they're not dumb, man. Especially these old timers, they've been around the block. They know how to talk the talk and get it to where, see, I don't. I've already turned cynical. And so I'm not going to really attract faithful Mormons here, and I got to a point in this journey, I guess you can call it, where I was like, man, I have the opportunity to plant the seed. I'm not trying to sell anybody on buying into how I believe, but I can at least maybe show, through examples, through the way I treat people or them, and I, I don't mean to be that way. It's these over here. It's these guys, this circle of jerks, that I'm trying to analyze. And again, I don't think that they're going to be held accountable. Not in my lifetime. But I'm going to do my best. That way I can pass the torch on to the next generation, like Sandra Tanner and like Lynn Packer, because I mean, we have to. I think it's our job. It's like, you have to. These people are misled, whether they believe in God or not, whatever it is. I just know that they're going down that left-hand path, and I, like with Lori and Chad, I don't think I pray for them all the time. I hope that they find reality. God, my God, source. I don't know if it's a sky daddy. It's nobody that makes me pay anything. I don't know. I don't have to have the answers. I don't have to control this narrative, this life right now. And then so much so to where, and I just study Mormon. So I'm sure they do it everywhere in all religions, but I remember going into, whenever I was doing a video, and I did one, it's so silly because I'm like, and so now I won't publish it, but I went to a couple of these Mormon blog sites or whatever, and they're talking about, I think we've been married before in a past life, in a previous probation, and so I'm reading all of these, their conversations, and I mean, they've been there, done that. They're not trying to impress me. They don't know who I am. Just like our comments here, they're not saying it to try and sway anybody except for whatever they're doing anyways. And so I'm reading it, and I mean, from my understanding as an outsider, as a non-Mormon with a Mormon story, a very shitty one too. Not really, but you know what I'm saying. I didn't go and research this to convert myself. You know, I wasn't like, "Ooh, I'm gonna go see if the Mormon church has anything to offer me." No, I looked at it through an investigative type stance. I wanted to see things as best as I could as a non-Mormon, not from this culture. It's culture shock completely. I had to learn label. I just had to learn so many things. I didn't have to, but I did. I chose to. And it's helped me grieve. It's helped me size this thing up. It's helped me put all this, all their deaths, all their murders, why this had to happen, why, why is Lori gonna spend the rest of her life in prison? It just is, it's like a ripple effect. There is no closure. I hold the words that my Uncle Charles said to my Uncle Bobby, their last conversation, when he said, and I just happened to look back there at his picture right when I said that. When he was just like, Uncle Charles said, when is Lori going to come down from this? And, last I talked to Megan heard that Lori is pushing this shit still. And so she's not ever going to, her shelf is never going to break, or she'll never come to reality of the gravity of the situation that is caused by her and her alone, really. I mean, the rest is just, it's just repercussions and a conspiracy. She let her kids down. She let her husband down. She let her previous husband down. She let me down. She let you down. She let her brothers and sister. She let down society. They have let down society. Okay. Now I don't have to forgive her, and we don't have to forgive anybody. But I chose to. I forgave. I will never forget. But I still have empathy. I have love in my heart. And I mean, you can't breathe life back in. It's impossible. It's impossible. And while I don't really want to have a loving relationship with her, I do want to talk to her. I just want to, it's for me. It's not for her. And it's not, I don't know. I just want to get a read on her. I don't know what it is. It won't let, oh, shitty. You did it. Shifty. Yeah. Non-Mormon with a shifty Mormon story. A shitty Mormon story. Yeah. Holy crap. I mean, unholy crap. Just, I don't know. It sucks because it's like, I was like, what the hell is multiple moral probations, and what is energy? I didn't know it was to this degree. And again, I was like this, and then it's like I was like going through a maze or whatever, or how they have those video games. It's my analogy. Okay. I'm not a gamer, but in these different rooms, with the law enforcement, whatever, you go in there with a pew pew. I didn't want to say that, and it's like I'm scoping all these rooms out, but I'm really just digging in the corners of the internet, and it's like I see satanic ritual abuse, and I was like, ooh, fuck that. That, I mean, to me, it was just the name of it, satanic ritual abuse, is so intimidating. And it's just like, yeah, no, that's not what this is. But that was before the kids were found. Or was it? I don't remember. But it's like I'd go and like, what are they looking in? What are they talking about over here in this subreddit? What's going on? Yep, no, that don't sound familiar. Or it does, or something, and I just have kind of bitten off a little at a time, and then I went whole ass. Over the past 2 years or so, 3 years. As soon as I saw that headline from Fox 13 News about a satanic ritual abuse I mean, just that right there, a cult or something. And it said, you know, you read further down in the article and it said with cannibalism. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. What? What? And it's, you know, I was just like, that's crazy. That is crazy. And so here's Utah, southern Utah, where this is being reported. And then Chad lived in southern Utah, and he was actually a grave digger. And we're working on corroborating whether or not, you know, that's what Sue Ellen, Rod Meldrum, there's a Meldrum crematorium in Arizona. You can't make this shit up. It's these families. It's generational. Then we may, there was an old timer that Sue Ellen was able to talk to. And whenever she mentioned, you know, they just were talking about, what you doing? You know, what are you doing? And the lady asked Sue Ellen what she was doing. And she was like, oh, watching Chad Daybell trial or something. She was like, oh, I wonder if Jack, this is Jack Daybell, Chad's dad, or something. I'm probably misquoting this, but something like, you know, he was a gravedigger. And I was like, what? This is nuts. And then I watched, you know, I started watching Rotting Jewels, and just I don't connect on a lot of things. I'm just like, I don't know what the hell that is. But I've learned a lot just by sitting and listening. And then when something catches my eye or my attention, I'm like, Best Friends Animal Society, hold my beer. Okay. Because I'm about to, I was like, oh, hell no. Hold on. My lips are dry. My lips is chapped, Sha. All right. So I wanted to know who Tammy Lee was. Oh, I got to fix my screen. I know I do. I just realized that. Here we go. Okay. We'll leave after this. I know, you know, we did a little bit about, we'll do some more on Kelly tomorrow. Okay. So I remember that, you know, when I was going through these articles, you know, and just trying to put it all together, just trying to make a whole story, I guess. And so I was reading through American Crime Journal and just, you know, just making my orbit. All right. And I remembered that lady, Tammy Lee, and I was like, oh, I wonder if she's related to Mike Lee, because he's in there like swimwear. Okay. But okay, so I go and I look up, you know, her little blurb she's the COO. She took Tim's place, you know, when Tim left. All right, so Tammy Lee joins OUR Rescue from Xena Therapies, a med tech company specializing in women's health and orthopedics, focusing on philanthropic support for women. Prior to founding, okay, hold your beer. Prior to founding Xena Therapies, she was president and CEO of I don't even know how to say it, Recombinetics. And so I didn't even go further than that. And I was like, what the hell is whatever. I don't know how to say it, y'all. So I searched Google and I went, you know, wiki. I just check it out. Oh no, actually, okay. I don't remember. Yeah, I did. So we're gonna, I mean, you ain't gotta go far because anyway, Recombinetics. I don't know how to say it. It sucks. Is a St. Paul, Minnesota-based bioengineering company. The company was founded in 2008 and has since raised $31 million from private investors. Mark Platt is the CEO. Okay. And so it says right here, products. It is known for developing, okay, here we go. It is known for developing genetically engineered hornless cattle and is working on growing human organs and tissues in pigs. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. So while it created a cow that does not grow horns during the creation process. It also added genes from bacteria that could produce antibiotic resistance. This occurred despite the CEO, Mark Platt, claiming, I lost my damn spot. Despite the CEO claiming that they had proof there were no other effects than the horns not being present. So I remember getting picked on when I mean, just ignorantly and naive. I was like 13, and my stepsister, she was dating a guy who would rodeo. Okay, straight up, she brought me and my other stepsister. We were the same age. Me and Amanda were the same age, and we went with Bridget. Okay, and so she brought us to the rodeo, but the guys were getting ready and stuff, and so they have the livestock all in pins and everything, and I was like, oh my god, that cow has big balls or something. I don't know, it was something stupid. And he was like, cows don't have balls. And I was like, oh. I mean, just these things, this is how I learn, saying stupid shit. And so this right here, just I thought bulls had horns, but I'm sure that's not all the way right. And so I'm like, are they modifying genders here too? I mean, that I don't know. Again, I've learned the hard way, so I'm sure I'm way off. But just the fact that they're doing the creation process, it also added genes from bacteria that could produce antibiotic resistance. This occurred despite the CEO claiming that they had proof there were no other effects than the horns not being present. Due to the bacterial DNA, it is unlikely that the animals will get FDA approval. Well, thank you, God, And a number of them have been killed and the bodies burned. I was like, this is just a very offensive find. Okay. I didn't expect to find this little in 2 paragraphs from little Tammy Lee. Okay. I just, wow, you pack a punch there, lady. Anyways, I'll go back to this and then I'll go see what you are saying, and we'll part ways till tomorrow. With a background in corporate affairs at Carlson, the University of Minnesota Foundation, Delta Airlines, and Northwest Airlines, Ms. Lee excels in coalition building for policy change. This is what Janet Rousson does, allegedly. So, and that's another thing that Sherston Stockwell did in OUR. That was her whole thing. She wanted to, she got right into OUR and started helping with writing the grants and everything and policy. Anyways, she also served on the, oh my gosh, hold on. I think I skipped a line. Ms. Lee excels in coalition building for policy change and spearheading. It's one of those key words, okay? Spear, tip of the spear. Alex said it in his, I think I'm dying shit, I think got the tip of the spear. And then Lori talks about the spear, and they also talk about a rung, the bottom rung, and there's 7 rungs, and these are just things I hate. I'm like Rain Man with this shit, and I hate it. But it's in my head, so I'm gonna share it. Okay. She also served on the White House Interagency Task Force to combat trafficking in persons and other national boards. That's a very long title. Advocating to end trafficking. Recognized as an expert, she frequently speaks on corporate philanthropy and best-in-class programs for anti-trafficking initiatives. Doesn't say nothing about rescuing no damn kids. And so anyway, this is OUR's new branding anyways. If you watched Fundy Fridays, that's how I learned. I was like, oh yeah, OUR Rescue, whole different look. I don't feel like going through that right now, but it's crazy, huh? I'm just saying. Transhumanism, right? Anyways, it blows my mind because it's like they have their roles. They're taking their orders from somewhere, and they interchange, they rebrand, they revamp, and they introduced into society. If Tim were to be stripped away of everything and locked in jail in Colombia, I'm sure he would be doing something from behind bars, or maybe he'd, the abolitionist movie. I mean, I even have a picture of him and alleged other law enforcement agents who worked the tunnels for 6 months. And I remember him saying, and somewhere it was either him, it was him, talking about how there were tunnels underneath the Operation Underground Railroad building. And I was like, oh shit, that's wow. I don't doubt it, whatever. I don't doubt it. Nothing. I mean, my mind is open, I weigh the evidence, I'm just like, yeah, well, shit's not adding up. I understand that I focus intently on these people, on him especially. I mean, as soon as I saw OUR be announced, Fox 13 News again. Oh, let me grab this too. I almost forgot. Oh, and I gotta show y'all this too. I got a lot of things to show y'all. I should have paid attention. I've been squinting a lot more lately. Probably for a long time, but okay. Oh, and don't forget that Tim sits on the Nazarene Fund, or he did. They're just swapping around right now. Okay, there's too many eyes on them, so they're like hot potato. But on the Afghanistan World Foundation board, and there was Henry Kissinger. Now I understand that Henry Kissinger just passed away. That was like one of the most alarming things I remember finding, and I was like, oh, fuck, Henry Kissinger, oh shit, and then there's Michael Aquino, and then there's Frank Vandersloot and East Idaho News. He owns it. And then, where we're offered to have the kids' celebration of life in Idaho Falls, it's owned by the Carrs, Karr. And I'm like, oh, that ties back to the Son of Sam. Oh my God. Yeah. Gordon Bowen, he's accused of cannibalism and being the Punisher. Hamblin, would cast out, probably still does, maybe cast out demons from Gordon, because Gordon is a closeted or suppressed, I don't know what he is, but he's not a straight man, I'll tell you that. But just like Jody Hildebrandt, which brings me full circle, I got to tell you about Robert Hamblin. Not only did he do behavior modification and get funded by the government for doing it, as soon as he left Tulane or New York, he left New York, and he took his family down to Tucson, Arizona, which is where Jody Hildebrandt was raised. Now I got to corroborate this with either genealogy records, and I found these two. I found my 23andMe kits that I bought and will not take. I'm like, what do I do with them? Anyways, that's just going to end up in the Granite Mountain and the other records with all the other DNA samples from and baptismal records from the Mormon Church. Oh fuck. Anyways, so, but track it down through genealogy, or I don't know. I know that Megan had gone to Seattle. I want to say Seattle, and visited Jesse Hildebrandt. So, I don't want to intrude. I kind of want to know if the Hamblin family maybe crossed one another, knew one another. I'm sure they did, because they act alike. And I think Jody Hildebrandt has like 7 brothers or 5 brothers or something, and they're lawyers, and and they dropped Jessie off, who goes by they, them, right? So her parents dropped her off, just like I think that Ruby and Kevin dropped, or it didn't quite work out in this situation. But let's say that Ruby and Kevin allegedly would have dropped Kevin off with a person like Jody Hildebrandt. just like David Hamblin trained their children to be in satanic ritual abuse, to play the harp naked at these highfalutin parties, you know, where, you know, there's people accused of touch parties. President Nelson, who again is a Skull and Bone member, second anointing, down, prophet of the Mormon Church, down, practicing polygamy because, you know, his wife died and he got remarried, you know, married again. Good for thee, but not for, or good for me, but not for thee, or whatever the hell. Y'all know I say things backwards, but it's just, it's so hypocritical. Let me play this while I find it. I gotta find it.
Destroy us.
Then phone calls from a high-level OUR supporter.
Did he use those words saying that you're a villain and that you hate children?
Yes. And I was really annoyed because I was like, how could they even do that?
The donor has not been named as a defendant in the lawsuit and hasn't responded to our requests for comment.
Then Sean Reyes calls and they have him. And I was like, that's it. Like, there's no one else. Like, I don't even have anyone I could go to. There's nobody else to go to. Who do you report it to if the Attorney General is in the middle of it?
According to her lawsuit, Reyes's intimidation was not as explicit. He said they should work together with OUR and referenced his connections to the Trump White House, which she thought might hold up her husband's pending immigration case from Syria.
Yeah.
Now she's dropped her lawsuit against Reyes after listening to his apology, his public condemnation of Tim Ballard, and his promise to not seek re-election.
We didn't settle. Like, there was no exchange. He didn't give me money to be quiet. There was nothing that happened. It was just a conversation.
Do you think he's ashamed about his quote-unquote past friendship with Tim Ballard?
I don't think politicians like to say when they're ashamed. I think he should be ashamed. I would be embarrassed.
Did he seem embarrassed?
He seemed regretful. A lot of the stuff he said, I felt for him because if he really is being duped, that sucks.
OUR attorneys say they were trying to amicably resolve a dispute with Suzanne, which is not grounds for a lawsuit, so they filed a motion to dismiss. They also say Reyes was not under OUR's control or authorized to act on the nonprofit's behalf. His own campaign records show he was a member of OUR's advisory board. He was also a fundraiser.
Yeah.
I've sat on maybe over a dozen nonprofit boards during my career, and I know that there's a lot of corruption, there's a lot of fraud, there's a lot of ego in the nonprofit world. I looked long and hard, and I could find nothing wrong.
Did Sean Reyes say that he's a victim as well?
He said that he didn't realize how they were using his name. It takes a lot more than one meeting for me to trust anyone, but I like giving people the benefit of the
Hookers and
doubt.
coke.
If I'm electing somebody to a position that's supposed to oversee a bunch of things that they don't know anything about, that is not a smart move.
Ballard and OUR are still listed as defendants, and Suzanne says if she finds evidence that Reyes was more involved than he says, she'll refile against him too. By the way, this civil suit is not the first time she's raised official concerns about OUR. She was also a witness in a criminal fraud investigation in 2020, but she says she doesn't know what ended up happening with that case. We're reporting at the Capitol. Adam Herbitz, Fox 13 News, Utah.
In a statement to Fox 13 News, Reyes says that he supports Suzanne's efforts to combat human trafficking and that the evidence will continue to show he never engaged in threats or improper conduct.
Tim Ballard's attorney also released a statement saying the evidence shows he was focused on improving OUR's work in 2016. Now the plaintiffs, quote, demand for...
Now, I showed y'all clips of Ken Krogh in 2016 and you know, and so this is not accurate. She has turned her disagreements about how best, he's talking about the whitehead lady that was just talking. She has turned her disagreements about how best to achieve those goals into a demand for compensation for loss of self-esteem, which is actually taking resources away from protecting children from trafficking. Oh, did I miss one? Oh, where they said what Tim was doing. in 2016.
Released a statement saying the evidence shows he was focused on improving OUR's work in.
I mean, I just saw them marketing, and we saw the whiteboard in 2019, so it seemed like it went a backslide there. I'm no expert, but I'm not a dumbass. And so 2016, they're working their plan. Plan your work and work your plan.
2016. Now the plaintiff's, quote, demand for compensation for loss of self-esteem is actually taking resources away from protecting children from trafficking.
Oh, God. They don't stop, man. They do not. They don't get tired. Okay, hold on. I gotta show you this one. And so they fit together. Dude, that conspiracy theory was totally debunked. How was it debunked? Well, we asked the guy who did it, and he said that he didn't do it. Bet you feel pretty stupid now, huh? They look alike. They look alike. They look alike. I couldn't pass it up. All right, hold on. Let me find this real quick. And then we will go, I swear. Where the hell? Projects. One of the projects. Won't be my first time. Yeah, look. I was going to put this as my thumbnail. I was taking too long. I mean, it just doesn't get any grosser than that. You know, flying in to an event in a effing helicopter. And he's big shit, you know. Top King Kong ding along. And some watery pits there. And he's raising the wrong arm to the square. He's top. He's such a spaz, in my opinion. Look, he's like, damn, you're a spaz. Just kidding. Okay, it's about what's his face? Oh, I found this one too a while back, and I just refound it again. This is Elder Neil Maxwell, which is who is the apostle that is unnamed in Visions of Glory, Tom Harrison's book. And I find this very, very, very full circle here because you have Neil Maxwell, President Hinckley, Russell Ballard, Jeffrey Holland. You have the 2002 torches that were designed by none other than Mitt Romney and Gordon Bowen. And this design was stolen. I want to say it was from a restaurant in New York. Gordon Bowen stole the design, and the restaurant owner was pissed. I forget what's the green. Oh, anyway, so they're lighting the fire with those torches, and I mean symbolism. You know, there's a lot of symbolism there. And so I just think the whole lot of them are bad. And I just do. I mean, I still fill them out. I still give them the benefit of the doubt. But I mean, there you go. You can't make this shit up. Nasty. They go to such extreme measures. This one, fake crying. Yeah, or cry on demand. COD. The children, they took away my CNF. Children need families. Okay. Yeah, I don't believe that. You know. Well, Russin, remote viewer. Pick a spot. Oh, they're really into art too. Art galleries. Which is also that car place that we had the kids' celebration of life. And it was sponsored by none other than East Idaho News, and also Lockheed Martin. I was like, oh, I mean, it just caught my eye. Okay, hold on. I'm looking for. Okay, yeah. I'm looking for. Oh, I've been finding all kinds of shit in the paper. Where? Okay, I'm looking. It is. What's his face? Oh, I'm just gonna show you all that till I find it. Well, hell, I mean, I might as well just show y'all tomorrow then, because Burgess Owens. Yeah, I'll share it tomorrow because I got to pull some clips together because this goes in with that whole coon thing. Okay, my coon conspiracy, my conspiracy. Tylee was called a coon or raccoon by Chad. That means dark. And then this Burgess Owens, who is a black guy, but Lynn Packer was on Mormon Stories podcast a long time ago. Like one of the first times I remember, I was like, "Oh my God, who's this guy?" You know. And he shares a little blurb where it's a Twitter post by Burgess Owens, and he says Uncle Tom's cabin, or I don't know. I don't know all those things. I just know that from watching Lynn Packer and John DeLynn talk about it, it's a dog whistle, or it's a bad slur. And anyways, I ain't got time for that, but it's the whole coon reference. Coon, and it's literally Burgess Owens using this in a Twitter post. He's a politician, and he's been to Book of Mormon evidence conferences with our good old boys here. So there's that coon reference there. And then the third one is Janet Russin talking to Troy Abels, The Last Dispensation, when they're talking about wormy worm. Okay, they call Adam Herbert's wormy worm, which is nerdy. Okay, first off, but Janet Russin says, they say that I guess Adam Herberts was trying to get an interview with Janet Russin, and she said no. I guess I'd have to go back and revisit it just to get the context again. But she accused him of digging in her trash, and so she called him a coon. And I mean, I don't know if they're marking them for darkness. I don't know if that's part of the mark. But there are definite dog whistles happening. Eat your bacon. Chad Abel eating my bacon. Lori was standing at her bar eating her bacon. I've heard Summer Shiflett say bacon too. It's a weird little thing. I have to say, art is a way of hiding money and other things I've heard, but I won't go there. Too conspiratorial. I'm just like, yeah, I believe it. I do. I guess. I mean, I'm not sitting here. I don't want, we don't want it to be true, Yeah. It's crazy, huh? And they all it's like a full circle. And I mean, you can pull up and see George Bush shaking hands with President Thompson. Oh my gosh. Monson. Then you see Russell Ballard, President Oaks, excuse me, all the top dudes. You see them at the Vatican with the Pope, and you're just like, oh, who's duping who here? It's nasty. It's just flat out. It's bold, and it's in plain sight. They're not playing. And then you have Senator Mike Lee, who's meeting up with Tim Ballard, according to the civil lawsuits, right? Where this is right before he was going to run for Senate. Okay. But the women messed that up. So he can't run for Senate, and children, they're dying. They're just they're in a cage right now because, oh God. Anyways. And so you have Senator Mike Lee allegedly meeting up with Tim Ballard in the Salt Lake City airport to, devise a game plan or whatever to run for Senate, Mitt Romney. And so I don't think Mitt Romney and I don't think Gordon Bowen care for Tim Ballard too much. It's just interesting to see the dynamics though, So that's where we get the whole Tim Ballard denying that the church publicly denounced him via Vice. But they also, I saw it earlier on the ABC4 article, they leaked it or whatever. They sent the church on official church letterhead, they sent that morally unacceptable behavior shit that Tim had a hissy fit. We saw him in his tight leggings, right? Oh my God. He looked like Peter Pan. Timmy Tot. Anyways, and so he was like, my church wouldn't do this to me, and he's not like, never have I ever made any sexual advances. I'm innocent of all this. No, he's like, I've never sworn on President Ballard's name. And I'm like, that's it? I really don't give a shit. Yeah, I mean, y'all name drop, right? But anywho, I don't think that Tim got President Ballard involved in anything. I think it's the other way around. And it seems like this was and I mean, again, I had to go look up what Manchurian Candidate meant because I was like, this is what it seems like. It's kind of like what they were, and I say they, upper management of this religious organization, in my opinion, allegedly, seemed to do this and groom Mitt Romney, who ran for, President 2012. Who was with him? M. Russell Ballard. Who funded him? His campaign? Frank Vandersloot. Okay. Then you have here. Okay. So he's out with the old, in with the new, right? We gotta influence, money, power's money, and they show it this way. And then they pretend like they're good little innocent people and they're not. They are some shady assholes. I'm just saying. And so now you have them doing this to Tim, and they're telling him through priesthood blessings. I think they're like, Tom, hey, you're the ministering angel, right? Okay. Tell Tim, mind control his ass into thinking that he's going to be the next president and prophet, which is mixture of church and state. Plainly. So is he the Antichrist? I'm just asking. Just kidding. Romney and Ballard, they were like not a couple, but President Ballard would go along with him on his campaign trail. I've learned this through just, observing other people talk about it. Like when you look into Howard Hughes, and you're just like, oh, hell, I can see where Glenn Beck ties into that. And I don't think it's, because Gordon Bowen, he converted to the Mormon church when he was 22. So, but I think for sure from reading the Hamblin documents from the Hamblin daughters, the story that's being told, it sounds like, again, it's generational. I think that Gordon Bowen was also a victim. That's what they do. They're training their kids, Ruby Frankie and Kevin Frankie, their families, the sisters. Okay. You know which ones, Bonnie and them. There's families that are into this, and those are who these are the bloodlines, or I guess, I don't know. I don't get all too far into it, but Gordon Bowen was known as M. Russell Ballard's prodigal son. And then, so you have Gordon Bowen. This is the story I've heard, and corroborated by a couple people. And I trust Goel more than I trust Gordon Bowen. Anybody, I'm just like, that sounds right. But Gordon Bowen, it's alleged that Gordon Bowen is the one who typed the letter up to publicly denounce Tim Ballard, okay, to Vice News. Okay. And he sent it. So that's why Tim must have found out about it. And Tim is like, it wasn't my church. You know how they are very to the letter, to semantics. Okay. So it was Gordon Bowen that publicly denounced or shamed or sacrificed, however you want to see it, his public, he smeared him. That's what they do. They smear and character assassinate, and that's what they do. They blackmail each other. Mike Levitt, I mean, he's in that whole thing I just read y'all from Tammy Lee. I'm like, oh, that stinks of Best Friends Animal Society. Oh my God, organs and second anointing. So again, I don't know if it has any less or any more to do with Chad Daybell being a faithful Mormon or not. It doesn't matter. That's not the it's just a good old boys club, and they can talk in the celestial room, and you know a guy, you know, like-minded people, and hook other people up and marry couples together, even if their spouses are still alive, because it's all about the bloodlines. It's all about keeping that bloodline and this polygamy shit. So I don't know. I know they believe in it, and that freaks me out. You know, because I'm just like, oh my, they don't play fair. Anyways, I'm tired. You're tired. I'm hungry. You're hungry. But I feel like, yeah, I never finish. But Robert Hamblin, David Hamblin's dad, also wrote a book about, or not a book, but a research paper, dissertation or something, on using language backwards. Kind of like how whenever I read a Bible scripture and it's like, I can't even make it up because it confuses me. And I already have a hard time with comprehension. Okay. Since I was a little bitty, and I'm like, how something not, it's like mental gymnastics with your thee, thy, thou, and I don't know. I don't have a good example right now because anyways, but it's like a backwards way of speaking, not like satanic ritual album or anything from Ozzy Osbourne, but like instead of framing a sentence this way, they frame it the other way. Kind of like chiasmus, but not really. I don't know the terms, but I found that super interesting, and because I was just like, wow, NLP, and they just say things different, and that also gets them under the radar. You know how many times I sat there and I'm like, oh, Melanie Gibb almost said it. You know, she damn near freaking said it. But the way she said it, it's not incriminating. It's weird. It's weird. Oh, wow. Members of the order speak fluently backwards. And when I go to read their shit, I'm like, you know, I get tongue twisted and it just doesn't roll off my tongue at all. It's crazy. I don't know. You're welcome. And I'm sorry. It's crazy though. You know what I mean? I couldn't imagine if I had to sit here and let's say I didn't have this outlet, okay, to come talk to y'all about this crazy stuff. I would have imploded a long time ago. A very long time ago. So thank y'all very much. Appreciate it. Always do. And look, it's 3 hours and I'm sure Donna's asleep back there. But okay, I'm gonna just throw up the same thumbnail. We're gonna do this again tomorrow. I think Megan goes on Sunday nights now, so we can make a block party. And I'll try and go before her or after her. Anyways, there's just a lot to have to talk about. Maybe I wouldn't keep y'all as long. But anyways, justice for Tylee, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe. Love always wins, and you guys are proof of this. Come back.